All right, guys, it's Jeff J here to make your day. Welcome to literally the reaction video to Jake Paul, maybe getting respect from my brother, Joshua's growth, joining the PFL. He's been tough on my boy, Jake Paul. I got to be careful when I say my boy, because then certain people wind up arrested for sex trafficking and everything. Your boy. And I'm like, oh, they're not really my boy. But I mean, people that have inspired me in ways. We have a comment on this. We have Arturo Gambini, special guest here, the high ticket coach himself and funding. I made him a lot of money when he first started, and now he's made a ton of money and challenged me to be where we are at right now. If Alex Ramosi can be in a closet, I can be here with these recess-like window videos. Maybe we'll get into AI as well. We'll also talk about Logan Paul crying. I don't know if you see Logan Paul cry, Josh?
I didn't see him cry. I saw him apologize.
So yeah, we'll show him crying, okay, and why he cries, and I feel
why he cries. So it's not the first time he cries.
It's the first time he ever cried ever.
So we got a lot to talk about, and then Dana White apologizes. My man, I don't even want to say my man Dana White. I love Dana White, but it's very tough to say after everything that surfaced.
Dana White 1, Anna White 0.
Who won?
Dana White 1, Anna White, his wife, 0.
Yeah, some people, and we'll get right into it with the first thing of Jake Paul. Because
dude, you're echoing.
Jake Paul, great week for Jake Paul, very bad week for Dana White.
Yeah, so Jeff, you're echoing for some reason. Is there a reason why you're echoing? Is it like your room?
Yeah, I think it's
because the whole house is tile and the whole bathroom is tile.
That's what I thought.
It's granite floors.
And the walls. Yeah, no, and the walls, they're glossy walls, therefore everything bounces off. Like there's no absorption of voice.
So you just need to get some women in there.
All right.
Yeah, Jeff.
That's easy. Dude, the lady from the wedding who's a teacher who might join Change Life Consulting may come over later today. So she got some Chick-fil-A last night from her wedding.
Perfect. All right, so what are you going to talk about with Jake Paul?
So yeah, let's get right into it. So, because that was, you said, you texted me over the weekend. I finally have respect for Jake Paul. So I loved, so here's the thing.
Hold on a second. I don't know if I texted. I finally had respect for Jake Paul. I think it was worded a little bit different, but go ahead.
By the way, there's a mastermind. So everybody's like, Jeff, why we see you at the penthouse? We see you in this echoey marble floored flip here. Next, well, we're definitely going to do a mastermind. We did one in Mexico. And I love doing them outside the country just because, I'm in the country a lot. We'll do a few in Miami, but Colombia's next. You're going to see, maybe we'll look at some Colombia places, Josh, today. Here, you'll get to pick out our next spot in Colombia.
Cool. Right? Awesome.
That'd be cool. All right. So with
that's gonna be fun. I was showing Jeff some videos of Colombia, and he's like, "Oh, yep, okay, we gotta go. We gotta go to Colombia."
Yeah, 100%, dude. It's nice, man. They have a lot of nice things there. So, let's go in here. By the way, I now think listen, my brand isn't as big as Jake Paul's yet, but my one word. Let me ask this for you guys right now. What's your one word of 2023? Because I had words, and this has helped me out so many times with business and changing life consulting and everything. What's your one word for the year? If not, if you don't have it, we'll get it at the end. And I want anybody in the if you're listening to this on Facebook, YouTube, put your one word in the comment for the year. 2023 is what? So I'll say it this. So 2021 was the first time I did this. It was Jesse Itzler at GrowthCon, Josh. Remember his speech?
Yep.
So I said, I'm going to make my one word soul. Every customer that I coach, consult, help with everything I do with personal branding and consulting will feel my soul that I care. I'll give back the money if they don't find value, and I'll exceed the value of their expectations, right? As I build this, consulting, coaching business, right? So as I've been doing that now I've gotten multiple testimonies, referral business. Don't really need to do ads right now by how many people always come in and do it, because people are like, now Jeff cares, he has a soul, and he's very natural. So I did that. The second word was freedom. Thanks to Arturo Gambini, founder of Funding Academy and everything he's done. Financial freedom. I fixed my credit score, got everything up there, and then actually started charging high ticket prices for my sales because the high ticket master of them. So I became freedom out of that. People.
And you moved out of one of the most liberal states in the world.
Right, to one of the best states, Florida. Thank you, Miami Mayor Francis Suarez, and even Ron DeSantis. Man, I was a little critical on him because I thought he's too politician. Maybe we'll get into Speaker of the House stuff too, dude. We can talk about that too.
Yeah, we can.
But that's later, man. I actually want to be the guy who's like the influencer, like Mr. Beast, and then just ran for president. Then a guy who's hammering on these politics stuff, like Mr. Beast or Patrick Ben-David or I want like someone, another outsider in for the next president. But anyway, so my word for 2023, if I wanted to become president, guess what the word is?
Kanye.
Why Kanye?
Dude, no,
I like Kanye. Dude,
okay,
Kanye was still speaking out, talking about.
We talked
Hey,
about
listen, hold on. Talking about Kanye yesterday from his church, he was still bashing Fendi. He was still bashing Balenciaga. He was bashing artists, saying how and rightfully so, because nobody, literally, who was the only one that came out speaking against Balenciaga? Him. Anybody else?
Like nobody.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like nobody. So
I'll do it right now, dude. Balenciaga, if you have that stuff, you should burn it. There are pedophiles, they're sickos, sex trafficking's the worst. I don't know who would go in here and ever buy that stuff.
When you say that, I think you need to speak in the Alex Jones voice. The pedophiles, the sickos, and they should be in jail.
Yeah, possibly. All right, so let's get into Jake Paul really quick. So my word for the one word is omnipresent, okay? I've never really done it. I never felt like I had the thing to do it. Now with acquiring Viral Alchemy in June, who's like a brand genius of viral, I've been posting a lot of content, and he's like, dude, just do this and it'll go viral. The stuff he's told me has always worked. It's got to multiple leads and everything like that. The guy just studies research, viral stuff. So with him and everything, we're building out our team of editors and Chat GPT and editing with copy, we can do faster. And I don't have to, I can really just be like, hey, people ask me, what does say? I'm like, go to Chat GPT, you know, and then have quality assurance to look over. Dude, we did it yesterday. Me and Arturo did it. We write him, because he's doing his high ticket course, write me a sales pitch. We can do it today, right? And then write me a sales pitch. And then he said, now put it Andrew Tate's voice. Dude, it literally put it like Andrew Tate. Like, we should show it to you, actually. Do you want me to do that now?
Wow. I mean, listen, we're jumping all over the place. Are we going into Jake Paul?
Yeah, let's go Jake Paul. So if we go in here and we go to Google, let's go here. But can you see my screen?
Are we going to Jake Paul and we jump into what? Chat GPT or what?
Yeah, Jake Paul. We'll do Jake Paul. Chat GPT. I'm doing a webinar on this Thursday about Chat GPT and how we're using it for our business. This Thursday at 8, like I always do. So if you go to Jake Paul to fix mixed martial arts and deal, I think this is ingenious for him, by the way, because he's been already fighting UFC fighters, and like even though I like him and everything, he's gotten screwed. Now, why do people hate me? People don't like you, Jake, because you're fighting people outside their sport, you know. So now he's actually getting inside their sport. And dude, PFL looks like.
Why did he cry? Why did he cry? I want to see. Why did he cry?
That's Logan Paul. By the way, do you know who is this without looking at the name? Do you know who this is?
That's Jake.
All right, so he doesn't know, dude. It takes him a while.
Well, hold on. I'm looking at. Yeah, that's Jake Paul.
Yeah, dude, it says it. But anyway, but yeah.
Well, I didn't even read it, but
So look here. So this is here. We'll play this here. No, not this one. Delete it. Oh yeah. This, by the way, this guy I met on Clubhouse. He does what I do. Does a very good job. All right, this one has it.
Is that the one that he cries?
No, this is not. Dude, Jake Paul does not cry. Logan Paul.
So,
cries.
Logan. Okay. Is that when he got his thing canceled? That was many years ago.
Let me show, let's stay on this. This one, officially announcing my first MMA fight. So I sat with Arturo and I watched with his ex-girlfriend.
You're gonna have to change your sound, I think.
Oh wait, hang on. What is it? Oh, no, what? Because I muted the thing in here.
Juliana Pena is not my ex-girlfriend.
That interview is almost done. I think that interview probably will drop next Thursday or Friday. This coming Thursday or Friday, rather. So this Thursday or Friday. So I've got 2 interviews dropping in October.
What's up, Roberto?
No, actually.
Do you know who that is?
I have an interview.
I think I do know who that is.
That the members only people.
This is what I want to be. This is dreams, man.
You saw the unedited version. So members get exclusive content. Members saw the
See, members, dude. See, he's doing it, man. See, I'll hit up that guy later. All right, this is it.
No, that's not it.
Look, everybody's reactioning to him. This is him, and we are too right now. I don't think it's sure. All right, officially announcing. This is it. I don't. Oh, the quality is bad. Hang on, gentlemen. You read the title.
If he fights legit guys, he's gonna get murked, bro.
What do you say?
If he fights legit guys in the cage, he's gonna get murked.
Yeah, well,
He's good with his hands. I'll give him that.
Which is why he went to PFL.
No, so what are you saying?
Why what?
He went to PFL. So like there's PFL, then there's like Bellator, then there's UFC. Right? So like UFC is the cream of the crop, like where all the fighters want to go. Bellator is like pretty good. PFL, and I think there's IFC. They're all like kind of like
there we go.
Third tier. There's still MMA.
Okay, so he went. So he went where he can pay off people and hey, give me a shitty fighter.
So where he went,
that's where he went.
Is where like the UFC fighters who like they won 10 fights in a row, and then they were like at the top, and then for like 3 years they went like this: lost fight, lost fight, lost fight, lost fight, and then PFL signs them, right? Because they're still a name, they attract money. But they're really not like to the championship level that they used to be. They're not winning anymore, but they still attract money. So that's where he went.
The thing I liked about PFL, and Josh, by the way, I knew of PFL once I got into MMA, and I took my first boxing match. Thank you, Atiro, for being my ring man as I got my ass kicked. I started studying the whole fighting thing, and I did come across them. One thing I noticed they did was a championship, right?
What do you mean by championship?
They do it like a Super Bowl. Look, he'll explain it here. Here, let's play it.
Sports league in the world. The PFL, baby.
PFL signed them just for clout. PFL signed them just for clout. Come on.
It's a great move for them.
It's a great move for them, but for Jake, like, okay, he wants to be the best. Why didn't he phoned Dana and tell him, hey, finally put me in there? Because Dana is very fair and very transparent. Like, I never even heard of these two, to be honest.
Who, Jake Paul?
No. I'm talking about those companies that are recruiting people that are falling off UFC or beginners.
Oh yeah. No, they're definitely a B league. They're definitely like, how I played semi-pro football. Do you know that?
No.
All right. Well,
I mean, I heard you saying that you played football before, but I didn't know it was.
Yeah, so it was semi-pro. So it was basically a B league.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's still B league, dude. It was like PFL. No offense to PFL, but if we got Tim Tebow to play for semi-pro, it would have been awesome for us, right? Because it would have got our brand known, which they tried. We had guys. I played against another guy who played for the Giants next week. It was in the Chiefs, which was just cool, which is to show on that. I didn't play with slouches. That's where I got my concussion. Oh, by the way, no, I want to talk about DeMar Hamlin too later on. But all right, let's watch.
Look, I want to see when he cries. Who was crying? Yeah, I want to see that.
You with the crying. I just want to watch this part first. That's Logan Paul for air. Well, that's
okay.
So just so you understand how this works.
An organization, but I am also a co-founder of the new PFL pay-per-view super fight division. The big bosses got around the table.
That's huge because they can compete now, Josh, with UFC on pay-per-view night fights if they want. You know what I mean? Or try.
Right.
This is not. I love the UFC. I always love the UFC. It's not good for UFC.
Bro, it's a great fucking business move.
It is. Crazy. It's even going to be good for UFC.
What's up?
I said it's going to be good for UFC because competition.
Yeah, no, I think it's good for fighting in general, dude. I think it's good for men and masculinity. More guys want to fight. I was with Edgewater Park with the Turo. We're down there. There's guys playing football. I want to play football. We're out there boxing, dude. I'll release the footage next thing. I'm boxing with Eric Alvarez.
Oh, did you know I boxed your brother?
Oh yeah, me and him boxed. Yeah, Josh boxed me too.
Yeah, have you asked him? Have you asked him who won?
I'm guessing. No, I didn't. Who won?
I think I won, dude. We'll fight you right now.
We gotta ask the people who were there.
Yeah, dude, I'd never leave it in the mind of the judges. Yo, this is a sparring. This is an Edgewater. We didn't fight. We sparred. Totally different.
We sparred, but you went crazy. You were like, nah, you were like trying to go all in. And I was just like, okay, boom.
Dude, I only do one thing. If you haven't noticed about me, I only go all in. There's nothing else. There's no other way I do it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You were fighting. I wasn't, but I still won.
Yeah.
Right. Good play.
So listen, I don't think you won.
Yeah, play.
In my mind,
Okay.
I don't think you won because here's the thing. I'll say this really quick. If you don't go all in, okay, then you're not winning. Like at any point at the end of the day, like you go to a point where you're.
But that's the thing. I didn't go all in and I won.
No, so that's why boxing. This is why boxing is a horrible sport because you like what's his name? Floyd Mayweather, Bex Boxer Oliver doesn't go all in. Like I will fight harder than Floyd. This is why I root against Floyd all the time. We'll fight harder than Floyd, harder, but Floyd will win because the boxing matches in points, whatever it is. Marcus King. That's why I have respect for Conor McGregor getting in the ring with Floyd Mayweather, right? Yeah, if I wanted to fight boxing again, I would have to relearn all the rules and really just fight like a douchebag, you know? So I'm serious. That's what a lot of the big fighters fight like.
Well, Floyd Mayweather just runs around the ring, bro. In my opinion, Floyd Mayweather has made boxing like a sport of softies.
Anyway,
you know, I remember when
Mike Tyson just fighting. We're getting in better shape.
For me. Great.
Yeah,
great
he ruined
boxing for me. Sorry.
He's good at boxing, but he's more strategic and more business oriented than a boxer. And I think because like think about it. So like I've seen a lot of his fights and he does a lot of running. He doesn't get touched. He doesn't get tired. Boom, gets a couple points, starts running again. So he's winning by points. Most of his fights are win by points. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he has been able to master the business aspect. Hey, if I want to win, it's not about let me fight and let me get my ego on. It's about let me be strategic about it. You know, so I think he's very smart when it comes to boxing. He's a good boxer, and don't get me wrong. He's a great boxer, but boxing is not what it used to be. You know, we used to want to see people. Hey, they're gonna go against each other. They're gonna give it all in. He doesn't. He's very strategic, so here's the thing. Very business oriented.
It's definitely smarter. I talked about The Last Dance with Jordan, right? And Jordan did things where it was just smarter to do. Okay. There's just smarter ways to do stuff, right? There's working hard, like automated webinars, smarter. Me going doing a live webinar every night, harder, right? You can get one webinar that works at Turo right now and make millions. I could be out there every night doing a webinar every night at 8:00. You know what I'm saying? So there's harder and smarter. Same thing with boxing. Floyd Mayweather works a lot smarter than different people. He works hard, but it's smarter once he gets in the ring. There's fighters, the old school fighting is actually stupid, really, at the end of the way. You're not using your mind. And one thing about Floyd Mayweather, you don't even need to read. I was just talking to a guy at at PF Chang's, so I was in there. He had all this money. His mom died. He had $100K. He bought a Rolls Royce. He bought a diamond studded watches. I think I shouted you out on my Instagram. I'm talking to him. He goes, bro, can you teach me? I can't even read. And I said to him, hey, Floyd Mayweather can't even read, and he's that. I said, as long as you can count, man, you got to be able to count. You know, numbers tell a story. You know, and so then he showed me this Rolls Royce. You would have liked this guy. It's a crazy story, but he did. But anyway, my whole point in saying that is working smarter is the best thing. And I'll admit, dude, I'll probably get my ass kicked every single time until I learn how to fight smarter. Or I pick smarter opponents. I pick people like Bryce Hall who don't know how to fight, and then it's good. Then that's what Jake Paul doesn't. Yeah, this is why people don't have respect.
He does that exactly.
But here's the thing: Jake Paul was mentored by Floyd Mayweather. If you notice, they're all hanging around. Floyd Mayweather picked his opponents at the right time to be 50-0. Say what you will say about Floyd Mayweather. Certain people, if he picked at a certain time, it would have been tough for him. He might have lost his tarnisher. Jake Paul,
1000%.
50-0. Jake Paul could be 50-0. I think he'd be unbeaten in PFL because he will pick his opponents. He won't be like me, like an idiot, but just fight whoever, a boxing guy, and go get knocked around for a 3 rings. All right, let's go on here. So,
well, good job by doing that, because I wouldn't have got on the ring with anybody that had, people that have 3 weeks of experience plus.
Right. Yeah, no, I listen, I definitely have a bit of crazy to me, that's definitely.
I saw that.
The revenue. Yes, you heard that correctly. A true 50-50 partnership with fighters that still allows them to be.
So I didn't think he dissed Dana White. I just noticed that he knocked Dana White off.
Push Dana out of the way, yeah.
Individual and even monetize their own sponsorship deals, which, as we know, isn't allowed in the UFC.
Is that true that they can't monetize, like Juliana Penny with Jones Soda can't monetize it?
Yeah, it's true. They own it. They UFC owns those rights. They got to ask permission.
I think if that's true, then Michael Chandler's in serious trouble for his PB&J protein sandwiches. I think
Dude, they hit me up to be a brand ambassador for them. Shout out to Ruth. I got to send her an email. Cram Nutrition.
Yeah.
They hit me up. I hit them. I'll explain that later on. We'll set the next
You have
episode.
to do what you're told.
Play it.
Wear what you're told and promote what you're told. Today is a massive day for star pay-per-view fighters because you have another massive league that is ready to do big business. And I am the first fighter to sign to the new PFL pay-per-view super fight division. And I'm taking this seriously, okay? Yes, still want to become a world champion in boxing. But as you guys know, I was a wrestler first. And when all of these influencers started boxing and calling people out, you recall, I said I wanted to do MMA. Roll the clip.
Well, I want it to be an MMA fight.
That's so dope, guys. Look at you. So why not do an MMA match? And you would get dropped faster than Disney dropped me. It's an MMA match or it's nothing. I've already disrupted.
Dude, look at how different he looks, right?
He rebranded himself completely.
Completely. He looked like a kid. No wonder why he doesn't like bullies, because it looked like a kid that would get picked on a lot, you know?
Boxing. And
now he's become a bully in his own sense.
now it's time to disrupt MMA. I know this is such a tough sport and it's not going to be easy, but if I could do it in boxing, I could do it in MMA. I'm so dedicated to this that I offered Nate Diaz a 2-fight deal.
Yeah, by the way, this guy right here was Jake Paul's breathing coach. He pushed his breathing coach.
What's his 2-fight deal? I want to hear what he offered Nate Diaz.
Yeah, here.
Play back.
First, we box. Then 6 months later, we fight MMA in the PFL Smart Cage and lay it all on the line. If that's not balls, then I don't know what is. Nate Diaz, I'm down to fight you in your own damn sport. It's a 2-fight deal. Let's make it happen. I love the PFL and everything they stand for. They are the only MMA organization with an in-season sports format. So let me explain. Just like the NFL or the NBA.
Did you see this, by the way, Josh?
I didn't know.
Oh, okay.
PFL has a regular season, playoffs, and then the championship each year. So if you keep on winning, you keep on advancing.
He just keeps knocking the guys out.
Fight the best fighters every single year, which is better for you. I'm bringing you the best fights. That's a big problem in the sport of boxing is everyone's afraid to just make it happen and fight each other and lay it all on the line. In the PFL, fighters got to go against each other. If you missed the last PFL championship event, then honestly, like you seriously played yourself. It was one of the best events of the year. I also am going to ensure that the PFL.
By the way, I Googled it. I don't think it really was. I watched some of it, but see how he did the marketing. So now I Google it. So I got used to it. And now I started, they actually are trying to brand their guys. There was some guy who was, I don't know, some Jamaican dude. Like they do a good job.
Gold standard in combat sports when it comes to fighter relations and opportunity. We are a fighters first league. And I put that on my mouth. This league is full of superstars. Brendan Logan, Robert Wilkinson, Oliver Aubin Mercier, the Canadian Kayla Harrison, Larissa Pacheco, Sadabu C, the fastest kicks in the PFL.
That's the guy.
Everybody, this league is absolutely the most. I need to calm down. But seriously, I'm excited.
So I never knew those people, but see how he did branding. Now I want to go Google them, see what they're at, look at their fights. See, this is, by the way, awesome. This is collaborations. This is using Alex Ramos's content. Listen, this is everything and everything. I'm gonna break it down really quick. This is why, and we're doing it right now. We're doing content right now. This is content. Okay. He's collabing with all the fighters and PFL, Capital, he's using their money and revenue share to draw something. So he's getting other people's money and their funding without going and doing his own fight league, right? And then Code, he already knows the code, the system to brand himself like he has Jake Paul. So he's just going to help the PFL with everything there. Anyway, finish this. I was doing that for a piece maybe later on. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, I don't know if we really need to finish watching the rest of it.
To mention that these champions get $1 million when they join the PFL, baby. My advisor, Nikisa Badarian, is also joining as a co-founder of this new division for the PFL. And I'm pointing him the head of.
Isn't he the guy that Dana White hates?
This guy?
Yeah, with the mole on him. Remember?
I don't.
Everyone money.
No, maybe not.
And that's to make
I don't know.
PFL the biggest MMA organization in the world, all whilst making it the best place for fighters to have a home. There are so many amazing people on the PFL team and so many amazing strategic investors that are going to help make this happen. All in all, I'm so excited for this announcement. I'm so excited to start training MMA for my first MMA fight. This partnership is going to change the way that MMA operates forever. Stay tuned for what's to come. Follow PFL on all social media, and we're about to change the game, baby. Dana?
Jake?
Dana?
Jake?
Dana?
Jake?
Yeah.
So I saw the end of that. So all right, reaction. So now you guys can fully react. But Josh first.
Yeah. So he's doing a really good marketing move. He's still it's crazy because like it's so funny about how he makes fun of Dana, goes after Dana. But this is the thing. Dana right now is the king, right? He's the king. So in order to get a piece of that, he has to go attack him, right? Which is very interesting when it comes to marketing. It's also very interesting when it comes to like leadership or watching somebody who excels at something. There's a couple ways to do it. It's either you work hard at what you do, you get really good at what you do, or you point your finger at somebody else and say, hey, this guy sucks, this guy's whatever it is. It's a great marketing move. I'm not saying that it's not. It's just interesting, like how a lot of how he gets a lot of people to talk is he goes after the king of that brand, UFC, and the people who like UFC, who don't like Jake Paul, who like F this guy, and then they'll want to see him lose, right? So they'll tune into a fight because F this guy, right? So it's brilliant marketing. I think.
But values and leadership for my brand going, like I know the whole thing, and we'll get into CoffeeZilla, which I didn't even want to mention the guy's name because I personally don't like the guy, and I'll call him a tool too, just like I called Andrew Tate a tool. But CoffeeZilla did the same thing to get popular. He's dissed my boy Grant. He's dissed a bunch of people that have been pivotal to help me. I watched the interview on the plane. I don't even know where I was flying to. With Patrick and David and CoffeeZilla.
Right.
And that's what made Logan Paul cry. It didn't make him cry. We're gonna get into that next, but okay, so that's your take. By the way, Josh, for my brand, where it's at, Jeff the Entrepreneur, everything I'm building up, and I feel like I have more to lose, and every word I say, I'm like, right? But like, I want to say on everything because, dude, I really do want to run for president. I really do want to at least I want to have the option to, right? But what's the best way for you seeing my brand? This is the same question I asked Grant. Where I am right now, what would you advise my brand to do now? How I would do it? Because I could go that route, but I don't want to go that route.
I mean, listen, it's all an approach, right? Approach matters when it comes to reputation. So if you're going to actually want to clout chase or whatever it is, you can do that. But here's the top 3 things that impacted my life that I learned from Andrew Tate, that I learned from CoffeeZilla. And then you preface it, I don't agree with this guy 90% of the time, but I learned these 3 things from him and it made me better, right? So it's you still clout chasing, but still understanding the fact that hey, this guy adds some value. Here's some audience. I just dissed him, but I said I also learned something from him as well, which is what PBD does really good. Like he said, CoffeeZilla, I would hire him, right? Which is such an amazing diss.
Dude, I say that. I say that all the time on the phone, which I didn't even know he said that. I say that, which I didn't copy that from him.
It's like saying I would put that person in a position to be below me. That's how much I think of them. It's a smart way to like lift them up, but also keep them down as well. You
Right.
know
Like, I'm the boss. I hire
I'm
you.
still the boss, but I respect what you do. So, I mean, yeah, that's my opinion.
Okay, no, that's good. And by the way, part of the reason why I get better and smarter is because Josh Lewis. This episode is brought to you by joinmasteringmanagement.com. If you have a business, have a team, maybe you don't know what to send to them, how to grow the team, maybe you hired an HR girl, go to joinmasteringmanagement.com. He went viral on TikTok. Dude, follow this guy, Josh Lewis Growth. He does the most leadership and value things. The total promotion right through on in here. And he has it all set up, his funnel set up, everything set up perfectly. He has like 3 different webinars if you need to hire a thing. I used his interviewing sheet when I interviewed my sales guy, which I showed it to the guy who owns a resort in Colombia, Juan, and he goes, dude, this is valuable. This is like priceless for your interviewing sheet. The guy's an 85,000. We showed that before, so I just want to brag about that. All right, so Arturo, we'll have you react really quick. I know you're kind of out of the fighting space, except when you're owning me, fighting smart and letting me punch myself out. So go ahead. What's your whole take on Jake Paul? And that's
just like Josh said, you know, he's a great. I mean, he knows how to make the brand. That guy came from, like he said, you know, after Disney dropped him, he said, "I'm just gonna do YouTube because he likes to be on fucking TV. He likes the attention, you know." So that hasn't changed since he was a kid. He likes the attention. He's getting attention. He's poking the bear. He's poking the Dana White. Okay, because right now. Yeah, Dana White, he's like your brother said, he's a big boss. Okay, and what is Jake? He's trying to get in the ring. He's trying to. He's saying he's doing it for the fighters. You know, but at the end of the day, it comes down to money. Okay, so he just did a strategic partnership, and then him, in my opinion, and I think I'll show you the reasons why. He's calling out. What's the guy's name that he's calling out? That he called out on this. Yeah, he's calling out Nate Diaz. Okay, so Nate Diaz, so he said, hey, Nate Diaz, first we're going to do boxing, 6 months later, we're going to do MMA. Okay? Nate Diaz is not really a boxer, so he wants to whoop Nate Diaz's ass in boxing, make him look like shit, and then bring him over for a rematch on MMA. So it's a totally marketing strategy. You know, and first of all, why does Nate Diaz, since he already proved himself 20 years in the game, why does Nate Diaz have to follow what Jake Paul's offering? Hey, we're gonna do first boxing, then MMA, then you're gonna get $1 million, then you're gonna get fuck that. Hey, you wanna do MMA? Sure, you know, let's do MMA. Let's do it. How about the first round we do it? The first fight we do it in UFC. The second fight we do it with your fucking wannabe UFC. You know what I'm saying? So like Jake Paul saying, "Oh, I'm calling him out." No, you're not calling. It's a marketing strategy. Everybody knows, or somebody in the right mind, 90% of the time. You're the A player. You're not gonna bend over backwards for somebody who's trying to get there. So him calling Nate Diaz out. Obviously, Nate Diaz, he's not gonna agree. He's not say, okay, yeah, I'll fight him. Obviously, Nate Diaz now is in a different position as advisors, you know. But anybody in the right mind, even a 5-year-old kid, will say, no. Like, I'm the A player. You're gonna come to me first. You know, it's gonna be, or at least there has to be an equivalent on an equivalent, a give and take. You know, it's like me saying, hey, Josh, I want you to work for me. I'm going to give you $5,000 a month, and you're going to have to be here in Miami, and you're going to have to move all your family. You're going to be like, let me at least try it, and, you know, and give me $7,000. There has to be a give and take. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and Jake Paul, yeah, he has a lot of clout, and I'm sure if he puts his heart and soul to that new UFC division, okay, that he's doing, I'm sure he'll be successful because he's a very smart business guy. But it does not make sense for Nate Diaz to say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna go first and I'm gonna go do what Jake Paul said because I'm gonna get a quick milli. You know, and this is something that is very, very smart. Jeff, you and I know the power of branding. You know, you teach branding. Me with my brand, I've been able to make $100,000 months. Okay, people don't know these fighters. They have 30,000 followers, real followers, you know, 100,000 followers, 200, but they do not know how to monetize. You see what I'm saying? So Jake Paul partnering up with that division and then growing these people's brand, he's gonna tell them like, hey, whatever you make, I'm taking half, or I'm taking 75%, because Jake Paul's not gonna do it for free. Jake Paul knows the power of branding. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a deal that, oh yeah, we're putting fighter first. No, you're not really putting fighter first, because at the end of the day,
really quick,
it comes down to money.
Awesome. And going in branding, by the way, for those listening on Clubhouse here, Jonathan Irwin and everybody, we're live on YouTube and Twitter and all that stuff too. You can find us. But we're talking Jake Paul, PFL, and then we're getting into Logan Paul crying and possibly the next fight. And by the way, did you know Dana White slapped his wife, Arturo?
Why did she get slapped?
Okay, we'll get into that a little bit in a second. Let's.
I mean, if I okay,
wait, about branding,
my wife. Okay, this is why I'm saying why. I always ask questions. I'm not just gonna go straight and say, "Oh, that's so horrible."
Okay.
No. Well, what if the woman? Okay. So what if your wife pulls out a gun on you and says, "Hey, motherfucker, I saw you with a girl last night, and I'm tired of you cheating on me. You're gonna die today." What will you do? Would you punch her or would you slap her?
Josh.
For
no,
me,
I'm talking to you, Jeff. No, Jeff, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, dude, I wouldn't be in that situation. A girl would not. I would not be.
I get it. Okay, but if you had to choose, if a woman, your wife, points a gun at you for you cheating on her,
do you think about some
okay?
Will you
punch her or will you slap
her? Neither.
Okay, so you'll just die.
I guess so, man. Like I'm not gonna get on tape me saying that I'm gonna do this. Like I don't think you should ever hit a woman in anything. Even I'm gonna say,
you shouldn't never hit You should never hit a woman unless your life is being threatened. Okay, well, there's police that kill women.
That's
100%.
Let me describe a situation different, right? So I have a newborn son. He's 3 months old, right? If a woman came up and she was about to go try and kill my son, do you think I can't hit a woman? Listen,
exactly. You will fucking knock her out.
Where things are like justified. However, you don't go around hitting women just for no reason. Like with
1000%.
Tuna casserole, pow. You don't do that. You go
exactly.
Hey, listen, you talk it out, right? You don't do any of that.
1000%. And that's my point. Jeff, in his opinion, if somebody can hit, hey, kill me or kill my son, I'm not hitting you.
I don't know. That's true.
You will knock somebody out.
That's why you got to pack. I don't have any weapons.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just won't be in that situation. I mean, they are making some women very strong and feminist, and there's military women, and
they are. Who's they?
The global people, man. You know.
Okay, but Jeff, your brother just gave you the perfect situation. If you had a kid,
but I don't.
And
have
somebody
a kid.
Comes in. Okay.
That makes sense.
If you had a kid,
makes sense, right? If someone's creating a life of people you love, 100%, you do the right thing, right?
Or your life.
Yeah. Or your life.
That's my thing. Dana White smacking his wife for maybe her not cooking right or dropping the pan or whatever.
No, you don't even know the story. Right. We'll get into it. That's at the end. Okay, we're gonna go to Logan.
I don't know the story.
So here, let me.
Let's go to Logan.
Jake Paul.
Let's go to Logan Paul crying.
Jake Paul. I want to come on Jake Paul really quick. What?
No,
go ahead. Go ahead.
I missed it. I'll watch it on the replay. So Jake Paul, literally, I get Jake Paul. I get Logan Paul. Okay, I get certain people. One thing about me, the reason why people come to me, and even Dan Bilzerian and stuff, the God's given me a gift. I was talking to Sylvia Leslie about this. I can read people, read where they're at, and read why they do what they do. For that, sometimes I don't act maybe as tough because Josh taught me this, everybody's hurting in life and everybody wants to feel special, whether it's Jake Paul, myself, you, or anything. So I want to talk to a person on that. So very much, even with all these riots and all this stuff, everybody's just a cry for help wherever we're going, right? So to always act in such a devastating way of, oh my God, they're doing this, I must kill them, right? Which 100% that's war. There's evil out there that should always be, exterminated. We should get rid of evil all the time. I think there's a lot of stuff where if you can actually there's a great book I read, and I encourage everybody to read it, called Verbal Judo. And you can actually do more with words, okay? Everything communication than anything else. It was right after the Rodney King things. I read it right after the Rodney King thing. They made everybody at the LAPD read this book so it could de-escalate people. We read it because when I taught behavioral middle school to de-escalate a lot of kids that you just jack up, hold. These kids would have knives on us at the school I used to teach. Your life would be threatened, right? And you had to learn how to de-escalate them without putting your hands on the kids if you could, right? So anyway, that's what my whole background in it. So
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
when this is just something for my personal view. Were you ever against Trump when he first started trying to run for president? Did you ever not support him? I say not neutral, but against him.
Who, me or Josh?
You.
So it was kind of a thing. Yeah, there was time. So yeah, 100%.
No, at the beginning.
At the beginning, before he was the underdog and everything, I was sitting with my Aunt Nancy. If you're watching this, hi, I love you. She's very liberal and left. My dad's very right and conservative. We're talking about Jeb Bush and Hillary Clinton, how they're going to be next. I'm sitting there, truth be told, thinking, I wish I could run for president right now as they're fighting, because I think they both like me. They'd both vote for me, like secretly in there, right? So as I'm thinking this, I all of a sudden see Trump on it. I said, and I'm literally looking on my iPhone and I say, oh, hey, Trump might run. And then they laugh. And I say right then and there, oh, I'd vote for Trump, because they both kind of like, that guy's not going to win. Right. And then after that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna see if this guy does it. And then when Trump did what he did, I became a huge maybe fan of him, just kind of going against the politician things. But yeah, there were things he obviously started saying and the way he said stuff, and he started becoming a bully that I thought it could have been done a different way. Right. I don't think he understood. There's just certain things he did. And I just, his policies were good. I think having a businessman, someone who understands business as a president in politics, I think is the smartest decision anybody can make. We're 31 trillion in debt for a country. But yeah, I mean, I think unless there's some never Trumpers and some people just don't think he does anything wrong, we all do stuff wrong. I do stuff wrong, right? But as long as you realize their intentions are right, that's it. But yeah, there's times when 100%, I wish Trump, and listen, part of me wants Trump just to win and screw everybody else who hates him, because everybody's hating him. Okay. But part of me knows how he is. He's just going to start some problems, just how he is, because of how he needs significance. And I don't think it's better for this country, which is why I've said I'll give up everything and run against the guy.
Long answer.
Yeah. So that's it. But I voted for him twice.
Logan Paul crying, not Jake's.
Logan Paul crying.
Let's get into
that
here.
So just a little back history, so we don't have to go through the whole thing.
Thanks for the differentiation, Josh. Appreciate it.
Yes. Do you know, by the way, do you know what do you guys know what the #1 podcast in the world is?
Joe Rogan.
Nope.
Joe Rogan, yep.
Impulsive.
It's not. Joe Rogan.
It's not, but they say it is. This is marketing. They say it every time. You know that, right?
I know. I knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
Right. But that's why. So if you go to Impulsive, and I like their studio. Okay. Oh, we got Jerry Malcolm in. Sorry, Jerry. We're not even. I'll invite you up, Jerry. We're on live on thing. We're not really on Clubhouse. Jerry, you should join the Zoom link. It would be good to get your take on here. Jerry, I don't know. How's your Saturday going, Jerry?
It's going great, bro. I saw you had a room. I thought you were having a little round table. So I just said, let me come in and say what's up to you, because I like Jeff the Entrepreneur and your growth, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, wow. You're getting some people in here now. Yeah, because of you, Jerry. I never, by the way, shout out to Jerry. I'm on my other streaming platform. We're streaming on live YouTube. I really don't focus on Clubhouse too much like you do. But man, you've built up such a... What do you mean like I do? Like you run rooms, man. You come out and give value. I think you had a room the other day I saw. You were giving a lot of marketing tips. You've done very... So, and by the way, I appreciate you. One of the people who had my back is this guy that I'm stopping the show for, because I'm doing a show here with Arturo Ganvini and Josh Lewis Growth, my brother, was Jerry, has had my back many times. And like the biggest thing you can ever do in anybody at their journey, when you see someone who say with good intentions, go out there and have their back. And it's just a great feeling. So that's why I wanted to just give you. I got tired of hearing some jealous people come at you back in my man. See, he gets it. No, Jeff, you're a confident guy. Yep. And there's some people that get intimidated or they just, it's like their goal is just to push back at people to just speak their confidence. And I always respect that about you. And I believe you're going to blow up. And matter of fact, I know you're going to blow up because your intent and the stuff you talk about, and I see it in your Instagram, you're always pushing. So I like that about you, brother. Yeah, we will. So we just, and we got to get on a call, Jerry, so I can show you what I've been building out. Everything is people and processes. And instead of just blowing up or being an influencer, which I was for time and got paid, I want to actually build an established business. So I went in, we acquired a short form video editing company, and just we had services and products we can actually provide more than me just doing consulting services, right? Which was fine and that was good, but we leverage time for money. So Josh is making a joke that he's asleep on here. So we built out a lot.
I've kind of done it. The word of what's your word of 2023, Jerry?
Growth.
Bro, oh, I love that. Josh, what's your word for 2023?
Success. Everything that I do, I will finish till it's successful. I'm not stopping anything. Like if I start a book, I'm finishing it. The word is success.
Good, awesome. And Josh already has a book out, 7 Steps of Growth, which I thought was funny. He's Josh Lewis Growth. That's my brother from the same mother. And then we have my word for 2023. So it was soul. So customers would feel my soul 2 years ago when I started my coaching business in 2020 or whatever. And then 2021, it was we actually already talked about this on the show. It was what was it? Freedom. Financially free, moving to Florida, which is more free, doing all where I can work from anywhere from a laptop, positioning that. And now the third word is omnipresent. Now that I've built that in, really going omnipresent. So if I did want to take on Donald Trump and run against him in president, I could actually have a shot to do that. No shot right now, but everything we're putting in place is for that. So,
Hey, Jeff.
yeah.
Hey, brother. Like I said, I just want to come in and say hello really, really quick. And I didn't want to just dip out without saying bye.
No, I invited you up, dude. We're actually, I will send you. Thank you so much for your time. We got to get back to the show. All right.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, man. All right. Sorry, Josh. That's Jerry Malky. Do you know who that is? Clubhouse legend. Not even a legend in real life. Really good dude. And I put Clubhouse on. So guys, if you want, maybe we'll bring the show on Clubhouse once I set up my Road Podcaster Pro. We're moving. All right. So Logan Paul cries. So let's type in this here. Logan Paul.
It's crying, right?
And I more wanted to show Arturo about this, and Arturo left. So you saw the whole CoffeeZilla thing, right?
I did. I saw his response to CoffeeZilla. I did not watch all of CoffeeZilla's. Oh, that's us up there. I did not watch all of CoffeeZilla's
hit piece.
Yeah, I didn't even watch any of it.
Be honest. Before we go into this, let's talk, because I didn't really talk to you about this. Let's talk CoffeeZilla.
Okay.
What's your take on him? I kind of said my take quick.
Can I share my screen?
Yeah, share your screen. Let me do this. Make you a pen.
Do you see my screen or no?
Yeah, I see your screen. Yep.
It's a whiteboard.
It's a whiteboard. Yep.
Okay. So this is CoffeeZilla's brand. Okay.
Yeah.
So people, I'll just put like, people are kings, right? This is their crown. This is a bad crown, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they've made so much money, right? Some have done it ethically. Some have done it not ethically, right? So this is a whole group of people who have made billions, millions. We're just going to put billions, right?
Right.
Now, there's 2 types of people who come in and look into this. They look at these people. One person goes, hey, what are they doing that I can do again so I can make money? Right?
Right.
This is like somebody who's focusing on all the good traits, right?
Right.
Then there's another person who comes in and says, what are they doing that's wrong and how they made their money, right? Let me focus on what they did that's wrong, because that's bad and they should be called out. Not saying either or is right, but there's 2 different types of people. These people attract people who are growth oriented and want to grow and want to build up other people. These people, to their demise, unfortunately, like the Stevens, the CoffeeZillas, tend to attract to the people who are lazy. They'd rather just point at everybody's flaws, because Steven, CoffeeZilla himself is flawed. So is this person. But they'd rather just look at all the flaws and say, look, man, these people are bad. Don't do it. And that's how they make their money, right? Okay. Which, to be honest, these people get into this category. And then somebody else is going to come over and either do the same thing.
Right, which is what I'm about to do about CoffeeZilla.
Right. So this is what I mean by that. Like CoffeeZilla, Steven, I believe his name is, he has the right to do whatever he wants and create the content he does. He creates great content. Who he attracts is not people I want to hang out with. at all. They're negative. They're like, they tear other people down. They like, I would rather, like I said, somebody I disagree with, I would do a video on CoffeeZilla and say, man, listen, I don't like his vibe. I don't like what he does. But these are 3 great things that I learned from CoffeeZilla. Focus on what you can learn from somebody instead of taking your whole like everything about tearing other people down. There's a marketplace for that. There 100% is. And I'm not saying CoffeeZilla is wrong for going to that marketplace. It's something that I just do not like. We know how short life is. I'd rather spend my life with people who want to lift people up than people who want to tear people down. CoffeeZilla, Steven would argue that he's doing it for a good reason. And I believe that he thinks that he is. I actually believe that. I think that he thinks that I'm doing this for a right reason. However, it's almost like it's hypocrisy because now he has become the people that he doesn't like. He's creating an environment and he's taking money and he's getting money by destroying other people's empires. So it's pretty crazy. It's crazy about like how everything is. I mean, those are my thoughts though.
No, I think that's actually, I totally agree with all that all the time. Sorry, I'm sharing on Clubhouse here. So yeah, so that's CoffeeZilla. Dude, I totally agree. And that's why I don't want to build up my thing. That's why really the theme Inspire Others always was huge to me. To always, like, if I ran for president or even everything that changed in lives, consulting, what we do is really to inspire others. I was in our inner circle call that we do on Tuesday nights, and I had David who reads fast, was a great kid. I think you remember him, right?
I do, yes.
He's actually one of he's crushing it with his whole speed reading course and stuff. But long story short, he said to me, well, Jeff, when do we get to point out some of these people who just aren't good? He's like doing a disservice. And it was funny because my whole thing is don't tear anybody down, right? Inspire Others always and stuff. But me and Caesar, why I started Change Life Consulting is because, dude, I was on Clubhouse and not selling anything because I was like too afraid to not fulfill, right? Everything.
Right.
And then, but I remember there was a girl, I was on a call with her and she kind of wanted to buy from me. She couldn't tell. And I was like, I don't really want to sell to her. I remember, John Legier brought me and her a MacBook Pro. So we kind of connected on this, right? She knew some marketing, but I could help her out, right? So I'm on the call with her. She doesn't buy with me. I don't close her. I probably could have if I tried. I would have been better off. And I told her this because then she bought a guy for this like perfect webinar. He totally scammed her. It was a whole scam. It was a whole fake, right? She spent like $2,000 or $4,000. And here I was trying to sell my $500 product, right? On everything. My whole point in saying that, and that guy, I'll say his name, Jeremy something. I don't want anybody to buy from him. He looks all very good, but he scammed multiple people at a time, right? And she couldn't get her money back and there's all excuses and stuff. So at what point do you then bring out people who aren't you know what I mean?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Which is going to be very controversial.
Yeah, go ahead, Bob. That's the best for marketing.
Whose fault is it when someone gets scammed?
Them, themselves. Yeah.
Nobody puts a gun to your head and says, buy this product. Now, If they do, yeah, that person's bad. But if they're doing something that they believe is, let's say I'm scamming people, but I'm trying to create a business. I'm trying to do whatever it is. If I have a track record, and this is in the Bible, truth stands the test of time, lies are soon exposed. Whenever somebody's doing something wrong, they eventually will get exposed. If you do get scammed, you say, hey, man, listen, this is exactly what this person's about. I take full responsibility. I bought their course. I bought their product. It does not work. I don't like it. It's wrong. It's bad. So let me put it to you this way. If you go on Amazon.com and you go to buy a product, you will see that there's a rating at it. Why is there a rating? Because we as people, we as consumers can vote whether we like something or whether we not like something. When we see something that has 4 stars, 4.5 stars, we're like, that's good. When we see something that says 2 stars, 1 star, we go, ooh, that's not good. The marketplace spoke and they put that product in its positional hierarchy of where it should be. Either it's good or it's bad. That's one of the things that's unfortunate about people, they always want to point the finger. This person scammed me. Yes, they did 100%. And they should be held accountable. And you should definitely, if they took your money and they didn't do anything, report it, do whatever it is. But nobody put a gun to your head. You are still the one who actually pulled the trigger on something. I know. I've done things where I bought bad products before and go, man, they've got me.
Right.
So the marketplace usually always dictates the integrity or not. There are outliers where people's, go up through the chains and whatever it is, but dude, truth does stand the test of time and lies are eventually exposed. Sometimes it takes longer than we would like, but they eventually do come out.
By the way, really quick, because Arturo was out taking a business call. Do you like, and I wanted to wait because he kept wanting to see Logan Paul cry because his reaction. So I'm stalling now. Maybe we'll go to Dana White or whatever. Now, by the way, do you remember Yolanda? We were for the Millionaire Group we're in. I forget where we were. We traveled. It was one of the best times. Texas.
Okay, I think I do remember because when you said Yolanda.
Yeah, she wants to do branding and stuff. So she asked me, I was going to invite her. Oh, she's at work right now. Oh, okay. Same place. She's texting me now because now she reached out to me. Everybody, dude, it's so crazy because people watch you and they see your brand blow up. Can you teach me how? I'm like, yeah, but it costs money. Okay. All right. So really quick to go into this. I guess we'll go Logan Paul crying. CoffeeZilla. So here we'll go through the CoffeeZilla stuff. I'm very mad that what's his name's not in here. So do you know the whole thing of crypto, not crypto punks, his whole Logan Paul's
crypto zoo or whatever it is?
Yeah.
I don't know. Listen, I never went into the crypto space. I never went into the Bitcoin space. It wasn't because I it was, to be honest, it was like getting the first iPhone, right? I was like,
1.5 million views on this one. Look, Logan Paul addresses crypto scam allegations, apologizes to George. Oh, dude, there's a lot to unpack here.
I know. I watched it.
Did you watch this whole podcast?
Not the whole thing, but like 40 minutes. I had it on in the background. Which,
it was actually
good for Logan Paul. Because like what happened is I was not really interested about how the crypto thing, because I like on a linear level, I get it. I understand like you're going to have losses in companies or not. And it sucks that you're underneath the gun for that. I was way more interested about how he treated his friend. Do you know what I mean? Right. Like than any of what CoffeeZilla said or what any crypto scam. Now, I didn't put any money into Logan Paul's business. So obviously I don't have any interest in it. But
so really quick, and I'll explain this quick because I kind of could have been. And dude, I'm so glad to see, and I'm glad you talked about that because that's the part I want to do of relationships and people meaning something. Almost. You saw that? All right. So we'll wait to go into this, but let me talk about this really quick. Logan Paul, I get, okay? I get where he's at. Dude, these guys have literally done what we're doing right now. They've just done it longer. They documented their career. They had Vine videos and they blew up and we watched them grow up, okay? And what happened was they did some stuff. Logan Paul obviously did the Japan thing that made fun of someone who died, right? Almost got canceled. The Rock said it was nothing right about it at all.
They didn't almost got canceled. They got canceled. They came back though.
By the way, and I don't even know what cancel is. What do you mean they got canceled? Like they weren't allowed to be posted on any social media platforms?
Yeah, so I think it was YouTube suspended their channel. I think nobody would do interviews with them. The first person who did a long form interview with him was guess.
Patrick and David.
No, Casey Neistat, from what I remember.
Wow.
And it was like, I want to say it was like a year or 6 months. It was a long time after. Mm-hmm. And I watched it. And Casey did his whole thing of, oh man, I don't have the sunglasses.
Okay. You first showed me Casey Neistat. Casey Neistat.
He was like,
I don't know how to spell his name.
Hi guys. So I interviewed Logan Paul and I totally did not cut it. We're going to show you exactly what it looks like.
I want to give a tiny bit of context to this interview. I want to
I've never seen this.
Why did this interview and how this interview came to be. Logan Paul has had an outsized impact on the YouTube community. His actions affect the entire community. And while this is true of all big creators, Logan Paul in general and the size of his audience have amplified the consequences of his bad decisions. There was a sense of shame and embarrassment around a lot of the YouTube community after the Suicide Forest video and all of the fallout from the negative press because of the Suicide Forest video. And in the aftermath of that, Logan did some interviews and Logan released some videos explaining himself. But I know that I was left with a lot of questions about his intent and why he did what he did. And, you know, he still has this enormous audience on YouTube. What are his plans? What are his intentions moving forward? So a couple of weeks ago, when he contacted me about a documentary he's currently making about his life on YouTube, I obviously had a lot of questions, but I told him that I would be willing to do the interview for his documentary, provided he'd be willing to come here and sit with me so I could interview him on my channel. And to his credit, to Logan's credit, he agreed, and he agreed that nothing would be off limits. And he also encouraged me to challenge him. He wanted it to be an honest and hard interview. So those are the circumstances surrounding it. That's what.
So we get the gist. So let me go into this here.
Of course, falling into the social media machine over the past 4 years, building an audience, garnering false power through views, which equates to money, which equates to, again, success, and then essentially losing it all overnight, becoming the most hated man in the world in the snap of a finger. So the question that the doc answers is, how do you recover from that? Can you recover from that? Me sitting with you right now, I'm in the journey right now with you. Like, is it possible for Logan Paul to make a comeback? Or am I going to be a failed YouTuber and fall and crawl into a hole? Like,
All right. So that's setting up. So here, can you put the headphones in, Arturo, or no? All right, because I can hear. So listen, okay, so then Impulsive happened. So obviously he comes back from that. So good, he's been this thing. So to pre-force it, because I did want to show him, before we show him crying, so Logan Paul addresses crypto scam. So really quick, for those who don't know, I learned a lot of my consulting knowledge from building a software where we hired coders to do everything. At the point, I connect with Logan in this because Ahmad hired a bunch of coders. They threatened to hack and delete our software. Luckily, we took no investor money at the time, but if we did, it would have been bad. Okay. I was actually pitching to VCs for investor money. And personally, because I didn't feel comfortable at our back end, I didn't want their money because I put all my own money into it. So if I lost, it was fine. Okay. President Ahmad, I'm going to call it Ahmad now. Ahmad comes to me to consult an NFT project. Okay. Cool project. They got guys who did things. He bought some land in the metaverse, right? And I'm still on the consultant of the package, right? They're going to build all this. I say, Ahmad, I don't want to be a part of this, man. I don't know if this is a pump and dump, right? We're selling all these creatures. I don't know what it is, right? Fast forward to Logan Paul. Logan Paul actually it was an ingenious idea. He had the idea, but it was very tough to do. They built out a whole team. And then the team, kind of like Mondo, ran back with the money. Okay. So do you know about this, Josh?
I know a little bit about it.
So I'll explain the concept. So because NFTs, Web3, Bitcoin is all the future, and I totally believe that. I'm very highly invested. I know we don't do content about that, but it all is. I'm very highly into that space. His idea was this, and it was actually a good idea. You remember that and CryptoZilla does it. They had that thing where it's like chia pets, and you could have pets on your Instagram or whatever, and you could feed your little pet it was time to feed your pets, and people walked around with it. It was like a fad.
Tamagotchi.
Yeah, Tamagotchi. So he wanted to do that NFT. So everybody get a pet, like we'd each get pets, and then we do it where they'd all get to. Arturo went away again. And they'd all get the feed. So anyway, I'm going to show them things. So anyway, that's what happened. People ran with the money. They believed in Logan Paul. They spent $500,000, all this money, and nobody got their money back. The one thing Arturo said, which is why I want to preface this, when I watched him say and give consulting advice over the phone, he said, hey, as an investor, you want to give anybody back at least their money. They do not lose their money as an investor. If you do that, you keep up your name good. Obviously, they know it's investment. If they make 2 to 3 times, great, but you always give back their money, right? Does that make sense, Josh?
Oh yeah, I agree 100%.
Right. You remember saying that, Arturo, about as an investor, you always give back your money?
Yeah, and the only reason why I know that because I've been an investor in several projects, and I'm like, dude, at least the best thing you can do is just try to give back the money.
Which is what George said on the podcast. All right. So let's go in. So now I kind of prefaced all that. So and there's a lot to unpack to just him going to cry. So there was an episode before that got really popular that they posted. I don't know if we need to show it.
So he was crying. Hold on. This is how crazy it is. Okay, Logan Paul at this moment, he was already touching a couple million. Right?
At this moment, yeah, I don't know how much Logan is.
Well, Google
okay,
never
so he
lies,
said
right?
everything got
Sort of the
taken
net
away.
worth here.
Dude, look at what happened to me. I'm not even as popular as he is. I don't even have the connection that he has. Okay, and I'm not even crying. Yeah, my Instagram got taken away, and I'm not even crying like, yeah, damn, that sucks. Okay, but what can I do? Just redo one again. Redo the whole process again. It's actually easy because I already know what to do.
Logan Paul crying is a clickbait title. He cries for a good reason. Okay, it's like how I would cry. Okay, so it's totally a thing. I was just like, Jake Paul gets announced, Logan Paul cries. So I'll just show why he cries, and at the end, and then because I've been teasing that, and then we'll go back to it. So this whole episode, he made fun of George. George is a Jesus guy. He believes in Christian. Logan Paul isn't an atheist, believes in God. There was a podcast before this where they posted it. It got 1 million views, and they tried to cancel Logan Paul for making fun of George on his faith. Okay? So fast forward to this part. I'll go all the way to the end.
Make it big, make it big, make it big.
We got through it. And guess what? When I had it. Yes. As long as it's always done with respect. I mean, even like as far as the statement on you know, we're all in agreement that you know, we've been put here by a higher power, which obviously I agree with, and I'm in the same boat as you. But there's even a whole shitload of people out there that believe otherwise from that don't believe in any kind of higher power. And as long as you have a conversation with those people with respect and with love, then that belief set is even okay. No one's trying to force anything down each other's throats. We're all just trying to coincide and coexist together and be cool and share love with each other and share this planet.
My fire comes from when I feel intolerance being perpetuated.
And I get that. I understand that. And I think that if you had done a better job calling it out in a manner that wasn't disrespectful to George, or by the way, even in a more important manner, lumping everybody together into that same acceptance or promotion of intolerance, then that would have been accepted. I mean, look,
so I'll go to the crying first, then I'm going to come back to this. So this is the letter he gets, and he reads it right here because he gets tissues and he tells him to turn it off. All right, yes, this is him crying right here. Because Josh watched all the podcasts, so you know the parts to go to, Josh, before. All right,
I didn't watch this part.
Okay, yeah, that's why I want to go to this first. Then we'll go back. Okay, so he reads this here. So he tells, so just so you know, makes fun of George, his God, his creator. Maybe you need therapy. You believe in God. Okay, this happened last podcast. George says this, and they say this. He prays to God, very similar to how I pray to God. Pray to God. God, should I start this consulting business? Who am I? He prays to God. He tells a story in this episode. God, what should I do about Logan Paul? God says, just show him love and respect. The next day they go on this podcast episode. Logan Paul fights back. Okay, with everything. It's crazy, dude. We're totally in the end times. Fights back with everything, right? To Logan. They air it. And it makes Logan look really bad. And then Logan, for making fun of God and everything, his life went to shit. Everything happened. He got in a big fight with Mike. There was something that happened. The flight got thing. Their thing. He tells like ever
The
since
CoffeeZilla thing came out.
CoffeeZilla thing came out. He's getting canceled now. So he's like, and then George is like, ha.
Okay, let's play it.
When I needed it.
All right, here we go. So he's on a plane on the back after his life's going to shit.
you are an L plus ratio.
Wait, here. This is
From Denmark to the States, I think.
okay.
Typically, they fly all the time. You know what I'm saying? So comedians out there, not to bring a lighthearted part into it, but not lighthearted, but a joking manner, that talk shit about Catholic priests and their issues with schoolboys. And they make jokes about that all the time. But because they're done in a certain delivery and as a joke by a comedian and not hurting someone specifically, they fly all the time. You know what I'm saying? So you can say a lot of shit. It's not about what you say. It's about how you say it. It's about how you deliver your fucking content. And so calling out intolerance is completely acceptable. There's nothing wrong with finding something, picking it apart as it exists, but you just can't blanket statement. You can't lump people in together.
I want to bookend this with
What a funny picture.
No, I got a letter from a passenger on a plane when kind of in the midst of all this, granted as a fault of my own. But this was something I really appreciated at this time in my life, and like really, really appreciated it. And I appreciate it now, obviously, but like I needed to hear this at the time. I think we were on a flight back from Denmark to the States, I think. And this kid sitting next to me handed me this note, and I had no idea what it was going to be. I think I was in such a negative headspace that time. I was positive it was going to be something talking shit, telling me to go fucking die or some shit.
What the fucking balls on that kid if he did. Just imagine the plane didn't land and he goes, "Hey, read this, dickhead," and he just sits back, buckles up. It's like, "Dear Logan, aka Agent of the Matrix, he owns you. You are an L plus ratio. Love little Johnny from 7C."
That's what I thought. And so this kid hands me this note, and I read it. I posted this on Twitter.
By the way, this note, I could have wrote this note. This is a typical note like I write it to her, if you know me and my branding.
Dear Logan, I'm sorry to bother you. I'm sure you'd just like to have a normal and relaxing flight. I'd just like to say, your videos helped me through a rough patch in my life, and I will always be grateful. You made me laugh when I needed it, and although I don't know you personally at all, it was always clear to me that you have a kind heart and you are a good person. I hope this isn't too presumptuous of me to say. While I have you here, I'd also like to wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday Season, and in general, wish you a happy and fulfilling life. You are a very beautiful person, and I really hope you know that. Love, Lane Schlegel. P.S. I also recommend you check out the book, The Pocket Pima Cauldron, it looks like. It helps me more than words can describe, and I hope it can be of use to you. Dude, I started crying in my seat, which, as you know, is uncommon for me.
Because you're a robot.
Some say. One tear from each eye. I tracked it.
You bottled it up. It was currently for sale. And what was your headspace at? Like, did you see the kid afterwards? Did you like?
Yeah, absolutely. I read this note and like my heart was so full of warmth. I guess tears were the only way I knew how to handle it. And I immediately went to just gratitude. And I spoke with him afterwards, and I was like, dude, I know you don't know me, but I really needed to hear this right now. I really needed to hear this right now. You don't understand how much this means to me. And he's like, yeah, man, I just felt something was telling me to write that to you. And we got in a conversation studying anthropology at a university, and I told him that it was just insane how the reciprocation of energy that had taken place with me at a point in his life.
You being there for him and him being there for you.
Yeah. Yeah. At one point I was a light for him. And then when I needed it, he was a light for me. Fucking cameras on it.
Yeah, what are you guys doing? Think we're shooting a podcast?
Who is this kid? He's becoming a human.
Just crazy how the universe works, man. And I told him that don't fucking delete that.
I just needed proof. I needed to show people that you're capable of.
And I just couldn't be more grateful. I couldn't be more grateful. It's just crazy. I saw it unfold in real time, man. No one's ever written me a note that nice.
My favorite part of it was this kid has this most meaningful moment ever. He's crying. He fucking gets this note. He's so excited about it, so touched by it. And he thinks that he's going to go post it on Twitter and get any kind of like sentimental, like kind, heartfelt reaction.
No,
he doesn't need the tissues. No, sorry. That's not what I meant. Not like as the reason, but like assuming that people would see that you were clearly impacted by it in such a positive way.
No, I just wanted to share something nice, bro. I
know.
think that's another reciprocation of energy.
100%.
Like I had people from my high school reach out to me that I hadn't talked to him forever, and they're like, I just wanted to say that note was so sweet. I bought the book. And then they were saying like I bought the book, like that affected people. What? And I got clowns. Bro.
Sorry,
I got made fun of.
That's
They got wrote it to me.
like nice job.
It's
all like a Twitter page is like didn't happen university. You know?
Like 80 people tagged me. At didn't happen.
He hit that shit with his left hand, bro. You can tell.
I was reading it and I was like, yo, this kid is getting smacked
Slaughter.
around.
That's not why I posted, bro. It's not why.
No, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
Hey, and this will transition to you. Contrary to popular belief, I'm living my life. I'm posting it online. I'm sharing my experiences. I'm being authentic to myself. And I'm not part of the Matrix. I'll tell you why, how I can prove it. If I was a part of the Matrix, I would give a fuck and play by the rules and be safe with what I say. No, I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna learn in front of you. I'm gonna listen to my friends and take the feedback that I need to be the person that I want to become. This Matrix stuff, I think is funny, but I mean, look at the past month. Look at my life.
Why does it have to be the Matrix, bro?
Because I'll tell you why.
Any other movie?
I'll tell you
why did they pick that movie?
It's
It could have been Happy Gilmore. It could have been anything. Anyway,
Tate said the Matrix.
2023
Yeah.
is here.
Yeah. All right. So then they talk about it. So that was Logan Paul crying. We can get into the whole episode before. That was actually him seeing. So let's react to that.
Okay, so what happened within that week? What happened? I don't know.
They explain it, Josh. You want to explain it or you want me to go back?
Yeah. So, okay.
You got to watch the whole podcast.
What had happened is right before the holidays, they did a podcast with that guy who was sitting on
George.
George, the guy with the beard, who was sitting on the right to Logan Paul. He on his right, not our right.
I saw a clip of it when he made. When he didn't make fun of his
this
head.
is what's great about YouTube Shorts. We can go find it right in here.
Yeah, no. He just told them. He just told them, "Hey, you want to see Jesus? Just don't be mad when Jesus."
Watch here. We'll watch a few of them right here. People
Okay.
made it and they hated him like so much. Logan Paul's getting like more hate than anybody right now.
Fucks. Oh, genuinely, I know people that hate me, that treat me better about my faith than you, and you're my best friend. So like one that really hurt me is you told me I need a therapist because I believe in Jesus.
I just am definitely questioning why we have to perpetuate a belief that is fucking silly. I think it's a silly practice to engage in, and I think it deserves satire. Because I'll be honest,
One that really hurt me is you told me I need a
He
therapist.
thinks it deserves what?
If we pick on each other and other things, it's totally fine. Like you suck at comedy. I get that. Everybody knows that. All that stuff. But when it comes to religion, you have to tiptoe.
No, I don't.
Well, I do. With anybody. You brought up like Muslims and Jews. Dude, I sit at synagogues and talk to rabbis all the time, pick their brains. I sit with Muslim people. They're most peaceful people. We went to Saudi Arabia.
Right? I want you to say it right now.
Who's right?
Whose God is real?
My God is real in my eyes.
Not Allah.
I don't believe that Allah is real in my eyes.
A lot of Muslims would disagree with you.
But does that mean I have to disrespect their beliefs? No. And you're so like power driven that you will mold past your friends and family without knowing.
If I say something, I've said it intentionally. How can you give an example of
one that really hurt me is you told me I need a therapist because I believe.
All right, so that's going to keep going. So they literally were like, Logan Paul.
So I will say that kid George,
Googled Jesus Christ and started posing like him, and I was like, it's okay.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So George handled that beautifully. He was calm, in control, and then just put it right back on Logan. And it made, even if you were like the biggest atheist in the world, it made you look at Logan and go, fuck that dude. Because George handled everything with class and respect.
Which is what I want to do, dude. By the way, more people are like, George, drop Logan.
It's going to sound like a thing Dad would say, but that's like an anointing thing. The way George handled that, he was handling the whole entire room, and Logan just looked evil. He did. Like, it was so weird.
Yeah,
like, I don't even, and he like,
hey,
really,
you know what's crazy though? Something that I'm noticing is that moment, because I even saw it, and I don't watch Logan stuff like that, and it showed up on my feed a couple times.
Right.
Okay, and I think it's crazy that talking about Jesus went not so viral.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He actually went viral, so he actually helped Christianity.
Go figure, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Well, so listen
Yeah,
to
like
this. So, dude, this is
virtually.
why I think we're in the and like listen, and we'll talk a little bit. I'll talk a little bit on prayer and stuff like this. And there's a point. Someone put a comment in there, and I'm gonna address it. It came up really quick. This is why Muslims. This is what Tate's right about Muslims, where Muslims will stand up for Jesus more than Christians.
Muslims will kill you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but for their belief, 100%, like they believe that strong. I almost respect. I do respect,
And
that.
that's their belief. Like that's their
Right.
belief. That's what they have to do. I'm not like saying like it's like
Yeah,
a
I don't know, but I don't want to speak for all Muslims and everything too, because there's certain points like you could take the Bible in the same minutes and say this is why Christians were bombing abortion clinics, right? Back in the day, right? So there's radical anything's not good. But anyway, let's go here. Logan Paul.
Christians were killing all non-believers.
Right.
You know the Crusades?
Yeah, there's
That's
all
what the Crusades were.
Listen, I think we're better with God 100%. Like believing in God as America. I think we're losing God with a lot of things we're doing, which is not right. But I do think that anytime there is religion belief, people will die for the religion, right? It's been proven. These are also wars or anything. It's a faith, it's a belief, right? It's people, right? It all leads to, at the end of the day.
Jeff, hold on 1 second. Like, I think this needs to be said. People are accountable for their own things that they do. They can blame it on a religion, they can blame it on a God, but they're accountable for the things that they choose to do. Now, I know, and you know this too, that Christianity, that what we believe, and Jesus that we believe, is not somebody who would ever go bomb an abortion clinic, right? But you just went there and compared it to saying, hey, this is what this other belief does. And I know why you did that. I know why you did that. You did that. So it could be comparison and it wouldn't be controversial. And I understand that. But this is the thing. I'm not saying a blanket statement like, well, Muslims believe in this. Their belief, and I should be more correct about the word the belief, is that you need to back up some certain ways with, you know, the Sharia law and all the things of being able to back that up, right? So I made a general statement regarding that. And then you wanted to not make that look bad. So you kind of like threw that lump into the same thing. What I'm clarifying and saying is, it doesn't matter if you're Muslim, it doesn't matter if you're a Christian, it doesn't matter if you're a Buddhist, it doesn't matter if you're an atheist, you are responsible for your own actions. So if you go kill somebody because they don't believe in your religion, or if you go bomb something because they don't believe in your religion, that is up to them. It's not because of Jesus, and it's not because of Allah, even though their beliefs might be completely different, what they're pushing, it's because of that person's individual choice.
Yeah, I'm glad you clarified that. I 100% agree with that, 100%. My whole point of saying that is, if you look back, and this goes for anything, whether it's Black Lives Matter or all these like.
I think you try to justify Muslims bombing, but I mean, like your brother said, there's not really justification. People are responsible for what they're doing.
Right? Yeah. No.
Like, dude, I tell my friends, I got Muslim friends, okay, and Muslims are very hypocritical. Okay, I got friends that, hey, I don't smoke, but I drink. I'm like, why don't you smoke? Oh, because Allah doesn't let me smoke.
Christians,
okay,
but
well,
here's the thing, Christian, yeah, and that listen,
look,
Andrew Tate.
I'm gonna tell something. Look, I know a guy in Lagos in Africa. Okay, he started importing liquor. Okay, he's one of the biggest importers of liquor. Okay, he did it, a friend of mine. So his family at the beginning disowned them. Oh, you're bringing liquor, that's haram, you know, that's haram. Well, he became a multi 8-figure guy. Okay, now his family loves him again because now he's giving them money. You know, so it's like, it's very hip. It's like pick and choose. It's like, you know, a lot of people, they pick and choose their bad. Oh, I choose to do this bad, but I don't do the other bad because the other bad is bad. You know what I'm saying? So it all comes down to people's perception.
Right, which is what Josh was saying. It's all perception and extreme accountability to whatever they believe in and to their God, right? At the end of the day, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. By the way, thank you, Josh, for doing that. I think I do have a big cry because I do want to win presidency right now. I have this whole thing on me that if I do say something, I do tiptoe, which is what George said, around certain subjects. So
let me ask you something. You're tiptoeing right now when you're in a smaller scale. When you're in a bigger scale, you're going to be tiptoeing even more.
Yeah, no, dude, I think I've always kind of done this. I think here's the thing. And this is what I mean. This is my belief, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe this is it. But my belief is to just go and be so that this is my one belief, okay? And this is all I know. I'm going to go straight in through this, right? And not do that and block out other people is what's really creating divide. I think by being open and understanding all sides and listening, okay, you learn more. So yes, 100%, you might call that tiptoeing, right? But for me to come out and just say, this is it, this is the way and everything. Listen, I've lived 37 years of my life. The one gift I have is connecting people and bringing people together no matter what. So I've had that wherever it is. It's a God-given gift that I have. So if I can use that to a point where then I can get, everybody in a room to talk about it, that's what I think great people do in a certain way,
So let me put it to you this way. There's a great line from a song that this artist called Leonard Cohen wrote, and it says, "There is no decent place to stand in a massacre." What that means is when things are crumbling, there's no good place to be. But when things are crumbling, when society's crumbling, when the world seems like it's ending, people look for a leader. People look for somebody who's strong. People look for somebody who's strong in their convictions. And great leaders get counsel, but they also make decisions. And one of the things that's very, very challenging when people rise up in the ranks is you don't know where you're getting your information from. Do you trust this person? Do you not trust this person? So I think it's very important that if you want to be a leader, if you want to be somebody who might run for president, whatever it is, to know what your counsel is, but also stick to your guns, because this is the thing. People will respect you if you are sticking to what you believe, even if they don't agree with it. If you're jumping from one thing to another thing, like, you know what, though, he's consistent. And the only reason why people respect that is because consistency builds trust. The more you do things over and over and over again, they know that pattern is the same. I can trust that person for whatever it is they do. So it's hard. It's hard, though. It is very hard.
So that means, Jeff, you're becoming a politician, because most politicians go from they tell people what they want to hear, so they try to tiptoe their way. So Jeff, you became a politician without being in politics already.
So
damn.
I'll be honest with this. I've always, and this is probably why when I was young, okay, I've always done this my whole time, where I always we used to watch C-SPAN with my mom and everything like that time. And I always used to watch politics. I watched a movie called Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. You can watch it. It's an outsider guy who ran for thing, and he wanted to make everything right. And he held a whole filibuster to make, basically they were putting a highway through something, but he did it for the right reasons. I remember watching that movie, be like, I want to be like that, right? And my whole point in saying this, 100%, maybe it's more politician of that. And I'm with you, Josh. And listen, I'll admit, I am becoming a better leader right now. I think I could go and buy an HR company and took the money when I sold it, buy an HR company, but by me leading and training and developing people, changing life consulting will make me a better leader. This is why going Patrick Ben-David, values and principles, and what he stands for and how he does it is great mentorship and guidance. I always want to learn. I will say this though, and I'll take a stand on this. Yes, 100%. There's certain things like abortion. I'm always pro-life. Like at the end of the day, man, even though it's maybe not my right to choose supposedly because I'm a guy, like I've been told by people, at the end of the day, I think everybody's pro-life. We had Darman Hamlin, that guy who almost died on the football field, and you had everybody talking pray and talking about living. I think there's certain principles and values that if we keep it cut clear, that everybody agrees on. Now, are there different things that's different? Like, do all Muslims bomb people when they do? No, not all of them. Do all Muslims follow the religion perfectly? No. But do all Christians follow the religion? No. You know what I mean? They don't follow everything. So I think if you really just say, hey, this is what I stand on, like, this is why certain people that I look to, and I always talk to the Mount Rushmore, 4 people, right? Just their values and principles, and it's changed. Okay, it used to be Grant Cardone.
Okay, let me ask you something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Jeff.
Let me finish.
Right?
Let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, Grant Cardone, Conor McGregor, Martin Luther King, and Tim Tebow were the Mount Rushmore. It's changed since then, and at the end I'll tell you who my 4 values and principles, because no offense to Conor McGregor, he's done things that didn't align with values and principles that they are. All right, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Okay. So you touch on abortion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I just want to ask you something, okay, because you're my friend, and obviously if you run for presidency, I'm not just going to vote you because you're my friend. So one question: when does abortion is permitted.
Dude, it's never.
which
So
we-
here, I'll answer it right now.
Okay,
It's
so put it this way. Okay, so a girl know if she's pregnant within 10 days.
yeah, dude.
Okay, so if she knows she's pregnant, that's it.
Sorry, say that again.
Like,
Does it-
if she knows she's pregnant in 10 days, like it's the day number 10 after she had sex, and she finds out, hey, it says, I'm pregnant. Okay, can she get an abortion? Yes or no?
No, dude, it's life, dude. Here's the thing: the greatest thing we have in all life.
No, I know, I get it. But what's your stand on it? So if she finds
I
out,
just told you
she
no.
is-
You would not understand.
No,
No. Okay.
Okay.
Done. Because, and I'll explain why. Okay, I'll explain very well. I worked at behavioral middle school where kids should have probably been aborted. The system wasn't great. They'd been better off thing. This is what people said. Okay, all the time. Why do they bring these kids? And these kids, you can talk a Les Brown. Okay, Les Brown's a purpose and a foster kid in a home. He's one of the biggest motivational speakers ever. If you don't, we all know Les Brown here, and he's someone that most of these rationale people think, oh my God, he lived in Liberty City, which is a horrible place where he grew up. He had no reason to be where he's at today. Okay, Andy O'Day got mentored by Les Brown. He is someone. Josh knows more. I've always said the story. They told Josh that he should have been aborted because we couldn't financially take care of Josh or whatever. Right, Josh? You want to tell that story?
Yeah, no. So for me, it was like, why did you have another? I was the youngest. Why did you have him? Right. So like, this is a financial strain. You guys should have not had him. You should have chose not to have him. Right. They didn't come out and say, abort this motherfucker. But they were saying you shouldn't have had him. You should have made the choice to not have him. Right. Listen, abortion is a very touchy subject, and I will say this. You want to say something?
What's your belief, Josh?
Josh should have been trapped on the condom. Okay, so that's what it meant. Not being aborted, but you should have been trapped inside a condom.
Get out.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Not being able
broke
to get
through.
out.
No, that's the story that I'm gonna make up. I broke through, and I was like, I'm getting there. This is the crazy thing.
You were not aborted.
I was not
obviously.
aborted. No, but my belief is
usually go ahead. No, I'm saying it's funny. Usually the people who want abortion are the people that are living. But anyway,
that's a good way to put
usually the people that want abortion are the people that are living.
Oh yeah, right, exactly. I would used to say like, oh, you believe in abortion? Okay, then let's go back in time and get you aborted.
Hey, it's crazy because I have only heard one girl said I should have been aborted, and it was recent. It was like 3 weeks ago, and Jeff knows who I'm talking about exactly. She literally said I should have been aborted.
Was it?
Jeff?
It's a horrible. Dude, that's a horrible.
Yeah,
thing.
before I went to Puerto Rico. Yeah, your friend.
My friend?
Yes, your friend. You remember when we went to eat with your friend to the Peruvian restaurant?
Oh yeah, because she believes in abortion. Yeah, I know a lot of women do. So here's the thing. This is the caveat I'll say to that.
No, but she said I should have been aborted.
Did she really say that? I did not hear her say that.
Yeah, when we were eating, she said I should have been aborted. My mama should have aborted me. I was always told I should have been aborted, and I should have been aborted because of the struggle that I'm going with.
Oh, she was told she should be.
No, but she also said she should have been aborted.
He's saying that. Yeah, she said I should have been aborted.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought she was telling you. I thought she was sitting at the lunch that we were at saying you should have been aborted. I was like, I did not hear.
No. She was saying she should have been.
Right. Oh yeah, 100%. No, I know, dude. I heard that. That's why values and principles are.
Sad.
Sylvia Leslie, who I like, who's a great friend. She always will challenge me and say, because I'm very clear on this situation. I'll be clear. Here's the thing. I'll be clear on what I believe on all the way through. Like I personally think all these, no offense to like abortion and all these little trigger words that they put the policy. I don't think those are the serious problems. Okay. It's families. Like I'll go into this. The reason why they're getting aborted, like go to the root deal. Okay. It's because we're breaking up the mom and dad. We're putting a welfare program that's not really helping. It's need to be reformed and it's leading to more abortions. There's more. And I don't want to get totally into it, but you got to go deeper. You can't just go to the punchy words that are going to make people love or hate you. That's what they've been doing all the years. And this is just like, it's very well marketed to make people put in a certain way. But if you go deeper to really just numbers and money of states and everything and how we're spending our money, I'll say this, we spent a $1.7 trillion bill. We won't get into it all. I study politics a lot, man. Okay. I love it. And what made me, I always loved it. And I stopped it to study business. And John Legere told me, Jeff, if you want to get in business, you got to read the newspaper. And Grant was always like, hey, don't read the news, watch the news. I did Dean Graziosi's Better Life Challenge. I stopped watching the news all the way up until COVID. That's when I started reading it again. I didn't watch news. Now I do. Now I'll read the Wall Street Journal, right? Which Patrick and David said, and I'll read certain topics just so I can think 15 moves ahead and I can be educated on what's going on. The thing that I'll say really, really like clear is the one thing that made it extremely clear of why it's good to read the news and stuff. It's because for business, where we're going as America right now, we have politicians in there. I'm not a politician. Maybe I'm not. Okay. I'm a businessman. I'm an entrepreneur making business, right? We have politicians writing bills, a $1.7 trillion bill that we're all going to have to pay for, that pass through a bill that has all these things that just are horrible in it. Okay, this is spending our money, which is rising inflation. It is not, should not be done. We just had 15 votes on the Speaker of the House because of that reason. I don't know exactly what it went into it, but I personally believe people spoke up because the main guy that they didn't want in is someone who was okay with pushing through a bill that didn't have stuff in it. And people like Matt Gaetz, I'll say their names because they went out and spoke out against this. They were speaking up. And the reason why I didn't get voted because the device in the Republican Party, because the problem I have with the Republicans, okay, is there's a lot of them that are just bought and sold. They're getting grease with their pockets, just like anything. It's probably why I won't win as a Republican, probably why I have no chance of being president, 100%, because I will call out 100% the corruption that we have right here in America. We're not so innocent where we're at. It's happening every day, but it needs people like me. Maybe it won't be me, but it needs people like me. And this is what Patrick McDavid said, to run for office, you need to replace the people in there with term limits and everything. We go from there. So, and hey, listen, I can sit back and just think, no, I'm just going to run my business. We'll run webinars and courses. Way easier life to do that. But if I do that, then I won't have Kokomo Jays. I won't have the dream in America. Andy Frisella, you were at Driven when I asked him, he's like, you won't have the next Kokomo Jays. It's something that's eating me inside. Okay. Yes. 100%. I might be more politically correct about certain things because I just don't want to have every Muslim person hate me. Okay. 100%. There's a girl, Ariana, I think she's a very cute Muslim girl. Can't date her, but man, I thought about
we found out why.
What?
I said we found out why.
We find a what?
I said we found out why you didn't want to.
Oh, 100%, dude. Well, I was in Muslim singles room on Clubhouse, and I learned a lot.
I love everybody. Trust me, I have a lot of love for a lot of different people. There's very few people. I don't even think I hate anyone anymore. I used to hate like ex-girlfriends. I don't hate anybody anymore.
So before we get into dating away, this is why. So watch this. This here. This is.
It was so timely and convenient that the 3-part series dropped when you were already boiling in an unholy baptism of shit because of what you had said on the show before it.
Let me tell you something.
And so I wanted to change gears a little bit and get ready.
To quote Logan Paul, present thyself.
Because yeah, I wanted to, you were very much are Germany right now fighting a two-pronged battle. I mean, you've got your battle in Africa and Russia, and you've got a different front where you're fighting for Jeff. When you make that face at me, what I'm saying stuff, it's strange to me. Actually, do you have anything else to say about
Oh my gosh, no way.
I'm talking, bro, and you're making this face like this.
Africa and Russia.
Do you know what a two-front war is?
Yeah.
Am I speaking a different language?
I just was one. Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I was joking.
Sorry.
No, actually, I'm sorry.
Why did you?
I was trying to understand what he was talking about.
The seat's hot. Huh?
Okay, let's dive in.
Okay.
Look, here's what happened.
So yeah, you were already, I mean, the scum of the end at that point before this even came out. You were trash. It was a wrap.
I'll tell you why. If you didn't know, you probably do. I made some pretty
He's gonna go
pretty out of line comments to George about George's beliefs. And I said, I'm not going to say what I said. I'm not even going there again because I'll tell you why. The following 3 weeks have been the hardest period of my fucking life. Buddy, God kicked me in the dick as hard as he fucking could. It's soon.
Call that
started
God smack.
I
You
went-
got
I went-
God smack,
I went,
son.
there's no way. There's no way. We started off in Qatar. I got violent food poisoning.
Oh, before that, camera taken away at the airport.
Oh yeah.
Immediately
$20,000
upon
camera
landing.
taken. We were invited by Qatar. We landed Qatar. Camera stripped from us. All right, fire. $20,000 camera. All right, no problem.
Which he got.
We got it back a couple days later, but we get to my hotel. It's just little things here and there. Things are showing up. We misscheduled. Again, got violent fucking food poisoning. Next day got alcohol poisoning. Our luggage was delayed, so we had no clothes to get to our events. Qatar was the first time I felt the wrath of God. And then
And then
the Zilla stuff dropped. And I had some shit happen in Denmark when I was supposed to meet my girlfriend's parents.
me and you got in a scuffle.
Wait.
outside the game.
Oh, me and Mike got in a massive fight. I got in his face because Nina put her finger, she's a pointer, and she put her finger in Mike's face, and Mike rightfully so goes, "Get your finger out." and then I instinctual, I go, "What the? I'll smack the fuck out of you. That's my girl."
No, you said, now my finger's in your face. What are you gonna do about it?
That's
and I literally just said, I'm going to go in the game now. And I walked away. But it was just a representation of just how horrible things had gotten.
Listen, I ironically, I defamed Jesus and God, and I felt his wrath. And by the way, I want to make something clear. And I have something I'd like to say to you that I've been thinking about, but I'm gonna say that for a second because I want to hear your take on this. But I'm not a fucking atheist. I believe in God. People think I don't believe in God. It might not identify as the same God as you, but it was very telling to me how the karmic energy of the universe, this is what I'll call it, just went right back around and put me in my place.
You want me to tell you something?
But hear it from the universe.
I'll make this quick because people tend not to love when I talk about Jesus. But let me just tell you something. Actually, no, I don't want to come off like condescending. This is actually how because I came off like funny, but I don't want people to think I'm telling the truth. The night before it happened, bro, I'm sitting and I'm reading the Bible, and I literally say a prayer to God, and I go, man, like, this is when me and you were kind of like going back and forth, and I was getting pissed at you, and I was like, fucking dude, God, I know you love him, but I want to kill him. I want to punch him in the face. I want to hurt. Wait, hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
No, but I know you don't want me to, and I know you love him, and I know this opportunity between two best friends can open a lot of people's eyes to who God is. So I sat there and I said, God, whatever direction. And by the way, I was getting so much heat for the Bobby Lee thing, for walking off. This was the period, right? So I sat there and I go, God, what do you want from me, bro? And I swear I have two witnesses. God says, be quiet and love. And I was just like, whoa. And like, bro, like I felt it, right?
Wait, who are the witnesses?
Watch. So I'm in the kitchen, Belle's cooking dinner. And I sat there and I go, Belle, I think God just talked to me. Like, I'm not trying to be like a lunatic. And she goes, what do you mean? And I go, I think, and hear me out. I think I just got to talk out of love. I got to talk out of love. And she's like, why do you keep saying that? I was like, I don't know. I just feel like I got to talk out of love. And it was so strong in my heart, bro. I left my Bible and my phone right by Belle. And I sat on a couch and I'm just sitting off. And I'm like, bro, what does he want from me? What does he want from me? What does he want me to do? How can I fix this? How can I go and portray Jesus in the best way possible? I get a phone call. I miss it because I'm over here. Another phone call. She goes, hey, Adam is blowing up your phone. The guy who works, from the chiropractor place. And I answer the phone. He's dripping wet, bro. Like he just got out of the shower. He goes, bro, I got to tell you something. He goes, whatever you're doing, Jesus told me to tell you that he loves you. And yes. And I'm like, what? I go, why did you just say that? Belle put her knife down. I go, buddy, back up. Why did you say that? He goes, I have no idea what's going on. I'm in the shower because that's why he was wet. He goes, I'm praying about my family, my friend. He goes, 3 times in my prayer, God interrupted me. He goes, go tell George, whatever he feels in his heart is right. So I go, whoa. The next day I'm standing here on the podcast and you're saying this shit. And I'm like, whoa, he's really like spewing out his heart. Like he's really spewing out his heart. And 2 things I caught in our conversation that we were having. When I said, Jesus is my Lord and Savior, you said, he's mine too. And that rang in my heart. I go, that's weird. Cause like we're not seeing that on the same page. And then you were fighting that I needed a therapist and the Bible wasn't enough. And I said, I think the Bible has more knowledge than any man. And you said, I think that's merit to it.
Wait,
And-
say that again. Please say that again.
That the Bible has more wisdom than a man who's trying to like,
Or woman.
or woman,
Therapist,
whatever, with therapist. And you said, yeah, I believe that has merit to it. And it was at that
Dude,
moment,
Logan
bro, where I was
Paul
like, oh
does
my
what
God.
I do just
Like-
right there. He goes, a man, he goes, or a woman, and he tries to like do that, right? And it makes people mad, but I know why he's doing it. But anyway,
We're learning. So how I see it is God has an arrow, right? And I'm sitting here thinking I'm right, and you're sitting there thinking you're right. And I had a habit of speaking out of like, yo, I have to convince you, I have to do this. But sometimes it didn't come from love because I'm convicted and I'm just trying to like help you. And then you're like, nah, fuck that, blah, blah, blah. And all we had to learn is like, regardless of what you say, and regardless of what I say, speak out of love. Speak out of love. So then when the whole world went from like, look at this pussy, he doesn't know how to talk, he's so stupid, he talks about Jesus, he walks off, and then you did what you did, and then God literally took the whole world and flipped it on its head. And it was right at the moment where I was like battling. I'm like, God, like you gave me everything that I have to sit in this chair. I go, am I speaking too much about you? Are people getting annoyed? Like, what's the deal? What's happening here? And to be honest, bro, like it just came to the conclusion of this. There is a very, very, very real God. I don't care who stands before me now. There is a very real God. And if anything, Logan, you should take away that, bro, like the Japan thing was one thing, but you're a good-hearted person. And you learned from that and you moved on. And a lot of people in the comment section was like, Logan doesn't deserve George. George should leave and go do other podcasts. And I sat there and I really mean to
there's
say
still
this,
people saying that.
what kind of man are you that when your friend says something or does something that you're like, okay, now the one time he fucks with me, I'm out, I'm done. I'm not. Like, it really made me realize that we are in a generation fueled by burn the neighbor that's next to you. And I just wanted to take the time to say thank you for everything you've given to me. Thank you for the opportunity you've given to me. I'm sorry you're going through what you're going through, but God loves you and he is still with you, regardless of the situation that you put yourself in, regardless of the light that you want to paint yourself in. There is a very real God that will walk through this journey with you. Even though the whole world turned against you, that God is right near you. Neither him or me or Mike or any single person here will ever abandon a man like you because you're not worth abandoning. And I love you.
So anyway, by the way, the full part of the podcast starts off.
At least give him a hug. He just shook his hand.
Okay, well, dude, what are you, gay, man?
No, I'm talking about Logan.
Is the guy touching?
He was just like, okay.
By the way, I'll say
thank
something
you.
like that.
Thank
like
you for
I'll
your
make a joke.
spiel. Next, that's what he looked like he wanted to say.
Yeah. So here's the thing: the whole podcast
Correct.
I just watched, and I listen. All these guys, I definitely Jake Paul. I don't know where Arturo went. He kind of froze out here. Probably got a call, but basically. Logan Paul starts off by not taking accountability in the beginning of the episode about CryptoPunks, or not CryptoPunks, whatever it was. Crypto Zoo. Yeah. So he doesn't. And George is pushing back on him. The whole first podcast, go watch it. We won't go through it later on. But I do, before we leave, we talked a little bit about CoffeeZilla and what he did when you were on your business call, Arturo. I want to touch on CoffeeZilla. I want to end with Dana White. This is what we do basically. Just so you know, we do a show, we kind of react to videos, and we'll talk, because instead of doing, hey, did you watch Logan Paul's podcast? We do it and then we draw principles. And believe it or not, despite for me, Josh is the smartest guy here. He has leadership and value principles. It's very hard to get his time.
Well, it is very hard to get my time because I got a little guy who's with me right now. Hi, buddy. But yeah.
This makes me want to do a podcast, because if you notice behind that guy, what's his name? The guy that was talking about Jesus. Behind him there was a green screen. Yeah. You know, that kitchen is a green screen.
No, it's not. That's a real kitchen.
Yeah. No, it's a green screen.
How much you want to bet? Let's bet.
Hold on, let me. Okay, hold on.
Dude, I know. By the way, just so you know, because I like you and I don't want to take your money, even though I'll bet 100K right now and forget my 90 days. I'll win it right now. And that, I'm good for it. Dude, because you have a green screen. Let's talk about your green screen. Why do you have your green screen?
It could be.
What?
It could be.
Right. Listen, before we go into, I've been studying podcast setups and all that for a while, whether we do it in Colombia, whether we do it in our penthouse, Miami, which is right behind you, which I get why you get that, but I hate when people put the green screen. I think it's like Hermosi blew up by just giving value and from a closet with a view. So I don't care where I am. Obviously, getting my eyebrows trimmed up and looking good is better, right? It's always good to have.
It doesn't matter if he puts a green screen. If he wants to put a green screen, he can put a green screen.
Yeah, I love that.
The thing is, it's that picture is a green screen of my apartment, you know. So
Yeah, I know.
since I'm not there,
we're in Miami right
since
now.
I'm not there, I wanted to put it there, you know.
Right. No, I totally get it. No, I'm just saying. No, that one's actually okay because that one hits close at home. But usually I'm against all that stuff too. Although I put when I was at my dad's house taking Zoom calls and there was ugly wallpaper, I actually, because I want to be so authentic.
Jeff, I remember the coaching call that I took with you the first time ever.
Yeah.
You were on a green screen, and then I remember some lady walking by asking you questions. You kind of like ignore her. Okay, and then later on you told me that was like the daughter of the owner or something like that. And I was like, and that you were working at that place or wherever it was that you took the call from.
Well, I don't even remember that. Dude, I've done a lot.
That was like 2 years.
Yeah, I've done a lot of calls.
I know.
Probably
that was the first one ever. The first one that we ever took.
So look, this one of my clients coming in. Oh, these are all reels. Post. Trying to look at the one with the bad. Oh, I gotta hit up this girl here too. Where is it? Oh, they don't have it. I posted it with the bad wallpaper, but it's not on here for some reason. All right. But where? Let's go to coffee. Do you know what CoffeeZilla is?
I do not know.
Okay. So I don't even want to give this guy a thing because I think he's a tool. I'll say that right now. By the way, guys, thank you. And Josh, thank you for saying extreme accountability. And thank you, Tara, for challenging me on something that I had to pick a stage in. That's what I need practice. Maybe we should start a new YouTube channel, right? The making of a president. Because I don't think anything's born in one day. I do think there's a lot of things in it. I have a desire to truly help. And I know I can do it like 100%. Forget about it. I know right now I have everything I can. What I've done for a business is exactly what it takes to run a country. What I've done for a middle thing is I know that, and I know it's connecting people, and I just believe that. Okay. And nobody can tell me any different than that. 100% certain things on how I say and stand, and people want you to be a person. Cool. You can want me to be whatever I want. At the end of the day, I'm going to be exactly who I'm called to be. And when I've always stayed in that truth, I've always succeeded in a certain level. Whenever I've been fair and I've tried to play to certain people's narratives, that's when then I've felt authentic on who I wasn't. But anyway, with that,
that's when you become a tool of the matrix.
Right, exactly. Which, by the way, Logan, that was Logan's best podcast for him. So this guy ending Logan Paul's biggest scam. So just so you know, with someone that we know, I'll show this one. And by the way, we can do our podcast like this. This is called the HM software. If you want, we can actually do it like this, by the way. There's a software we can download.
I know.
Seriously, why don't you own these big apartment buildings? And I get it.
Which might be better.
Throw them out.
So this is fine. Now, where does one?
What?
Let's go.
Watch this.
And we are live. Woo! Ladies and
so they go on and they do. I don't want to explain it. Josh, you want to explain really quick what they do with their channel?
Yeah. So what they do is they look to find people. They look to find people who have made money. And anybody who makes money and succeeds at a high level, they try to find whatever wrong that they do or what they have possibly done to like tear down their empire.
That is horrible.
It is. I agree. Now, here's the thing. Some of those people like might need a shine the light on because they might be scamming people. But what they'll do is they're smart because they figured out there's a niche of an audience that would rather tear other people down than to work towards progress. So their audience is whoever this guy is who's up here, who's the king at something, I'm going to tear this person down and say, whatever they're doing, I don't like, I believe it's illegal or it's a scam or whatever it is. Some of the stuff they might be right on. Some of it they're just projecting their own beliefs on, right? And then they create an audience that goes, yeah, F that guy. And then it's like CoffeeZilla unleashes a new celebrity who's done this new scam, and this guy, and this guy, and this guy, and this guy. And it's all about like tearing down people who have either done things that have helped them succeed at a high level who have done good things or people who probably should be called out, but he goes after both.
So obviously,
Okay, so he calling out Patrick Bet-David here.
Correct. Yes.
So they'll explain it. So basically,
I
what
want to
happened.
see it.
Yeah, you got to watch this. We're going to watch the whole thing. I'm just going to preface this before Logan Paul. So this is the thing. I knew this guy's channel because there was a kid I saw that I used to follow and talk to, and he totally teared the kid down. And he'll bring people on live confrontations. I just want to show this guy, show his personality without anything, but that's what he does. And also, Patrick and David, by the way. And I want to say,
why are they dressed like that?
They dress.
Is that like they're like?
It's
I
just
don't know. It's
Gentlemen,
but we'll just play.
Thank you. Let me
Hey.
Okay.
hey, let's get a little quick applause. We never thought he'd show up, grace the channel with his coming down to our level. Right? So,
We appreciate it, man.
okay, so
For a year, my mom said, when will my son go viral? I said, don't worry, mom. Patrick Bet-David is coming. Patrick Bet-David is coming.
he's coming. Listen,
We're in the
listen.
evaluator.com. We're blessed.
Okay, let's do a quick history recap. First of all, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so
We
much.
appreciate it. Okay, so I got to know you from your channel Valuetainment, and big fan. You got the hitters, the biggest hitters on Valuetainment. And around that time, I found this John Oliver piece on multi-level marketing, and I saw you had made a video on multi-level marketing, and I was like, dope. I'm going to check out Patrick's take, blah blah blah. But eventually, I realized. You have this other company, PHP. I think that's one of your main business. Is that your main business? That's?
I would say so. Yeah, I'd say that's the main business. Yes.
Yeah, awesome. So, and then I realized that that is itself an MLM, and we wanted to talk to you about it because I think MLMs are extremely predatory.
Do you know the difference between an MLM and an FMO?
FMO?
Oh.
FMO and an MLM?
No, what's that?
By the way, charisma on command, the one who asks questions is always in control, right? Patrick and David's the G.
Okay, so why don't I do this? Give me your understanding what MLM is. What do you guys think MLM is?
Ask another question. Which, by the way, Josh does this extremely well. I need to do more of this.
Yeah, so what he does is he's making them defend what their belief is, right?
Correct.
Because Patrick Bet-David has an insurance company, and it's a field marketing organization, and
started off
MLM practices in insurance are illegal, right? But they're calling him out because it's same thing with real estate. Real estate goes for recruiting. Like if you buy a house and somebody's an agent, you have a broker and then you have an agent, right? And they both get a percentage, right? Same thing with insurance. There's a broker and there's an agent. So, but since there's levels to it and you recruit people are like, it's an MLM, right? And that's what CoffeeZilla is doing. God bless you. So my son's
Can we see the baby or no? Is he laying down?
I mean, I can break. He's locked.
We'll do it at the end. We'll tease that at the end. All right.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's what they do. The whole podcast is in on it. And that's one of the greatest. Patrick Bet-David does a very good job of educating them slowly throughout everything. And then whatever they bring up a good point, and Patrick Bet-David says, you know what, at the end, that's right. Because to recruiting levels, when you recruit people, you say you can make a lot of money, you can make a lot of money, you can make a lot of money, right? That's what, when you recruit people, I don't care if you're a recruiter, if you're an actual hire recruiter, you're trying to get somebody to come into your organization, right? So you tell them all the positives, and you don't tell them, hey, listen, the janitor that we hired 2 years ago, we still have him because he shows up early every single day, but he's fucking crazy. And like, you got to watch out for that dude. You don't tell him the bad shit. You tell him all the good shit, right? So they're pissed. They're like, whole thing is like, yeah, well, we understand what you're saying, but you shouldn't tell everybody it's the easiest thing. And he said, you know, I remember coming home and my dad says, and I say, like, man, this is the best job ever. I can make all this money. Anybody could do this. And his dad stopped him and said, Patrick, you need to stop saying that. He's like, what do you mean? He says, you need to stop saying everybody can do this. Not everybody can do this. People built like you can do this, but not everybody can do this. He's like, so you are right about that. Not everybody can do stuff like that. And that's how pretty much the podcast ends.
Yeah, so you can watch it later on. It's really good. I'll actually play another scene, but that's it. And I'll say this: reason why Miliari Group or PHP or any of these things are good, and you know this, Josh. You know Rondi Lambert, right?
Correct. Yes.
So, sure. We were just on a call with Rondi Lambert the other day for how long? Like an hour, right?
Yep.
Great guy. I met him through the Miliari group, through something like this, right? I actually never even wind up getting licensed. For reasons Josh got licensed, but Josh wasn't working with the Miliari group in all that time very special.
Yeah, I wish I was still doing it.
Learned Ed Milet's thing. Well, if you do, dude, we'll send this to Abby, see what team we're on, and we'll spin it up again. But where I was at, like Patrick and David, I personally believe, just like how Patrick and David did PHP, the God-given abilities I want. If I want to build the next PHP and next insurance firm, if I was going to do a business, I want it to be mine. You can call it an ego thing, but I can do that. There's more money at the top, all that stuff. There's more responsibility. There's more lawsuits, all that stuff you have to take. But I can take all that, right? I can withstand that. Like that's how we're born, right? In a way. Some people aren't. Some people need the security of doing everything, right? So Patrick and David.
We went to another company called one-to-one.tv and they sold profit portals. So I'm gonna give you a sales pitch, which was classic. This is how the pitch was from the founder. Imagine you're watching the Laker game and Kobe goes for a shot. And in the background, you see Chris Rock wearing a black sweater and you like it. And you click on it, it takes you to a website and you can buy this one. I'm like, what a freaking sick idea. I'm all in, right? So I said, this is fantastic. So I went in and now this is now 21 years old. At this point, I'm given the presentation 5 months later because I made a little bit of money in 5 months, like $30,000. And they have me on the yacht at Newport Beach. I'm like this poster child guy. I'm giving these presentations. And then one day I go Monday morning to collect checks. True story. I go to Santa Ana.
This is, by the way, I never knew this about him. I knew he did a few MLMs. He's like, I don't want to do any more of these, right? But listen.
And I'm going to the building. I go upstairs. I see in the elevator a guy named Ray Mario. He messaged me the other day on Facebook, random story. He's a president of the company. We're going upstairs to get, I'm like, hey, President Ray, how are you? He's like a 40-year-old. I'm like a 21-year-old. Oh my gosh, it's so good. We're going upstairs. We go in to collect the checks because I have a sales meeting that night at Conrad's La Crescenta. And 200 people are showing up. They're going to hear Patrick's going to give away checks. Anyways, we go and we knock on the door. No one's opening the door. He puts his key in. No one's opening the door. Cleaner comes up. Security shows up. Said, what are you guys doing? He said, we work here. We're trying to collect the checks. And he's trying to go to work. They said they came over the weekend and shut down the entire building, took the phone system, took everything. They're out of here. That's one-to-one.tv. Okay.
Right. That's
then after that. Yeah,
but hold on, because our time is really short, and I feel like we're going to get way into it. So what I want to ask you is that I hear you. You have a background in this area. What was your takeaway from that? Was your takeaway to the PhD like?
So I'm getting into the point for you. So because this is the last part of it. So anyways, I go into a couple others with this guy. Then I said, I'm done. I said, never call me again for any recruiting businesses. I'm out. I leave. This is. I don't know. This is 5 months before 9/11. So then it's that time where I'm dating a girl who's working at Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. She tells me to go work at Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. I finally get a job at Morgan Stanley Dean Witter about the day before 9/11.
Hi, forget me.
It's 9/10.
Bro, you're dating up. She's loaded and you're broke. I like that. But
she had the money. I didn't have the money. I was totally broke at the time. Yeah, but thank God I met her because she had at least introduced me to real industry.
Thank God you got that game, baby. I always know that you got game, dude.
You think I got game? I don't think I have your kind of game. I bet both of you guys probably have better game than I do. I'm a married guy now, 42 with 3 kids. I don't have any clue what game is today.
Back then you were
married too.
Habibi.
I was probably good back then. I can't
So
discount.
can you pause this for a second?
Yeah.
We don't have to watch the whole entire thing.
Yeah, I don't want to.
So what they're doing, if you realize with that, is they're using tactics against each other, right? They're complementing each other, right? And they're using it, and the CoffeeZilla people are using it to manipulate, right? They're trying to manipulate to pull you in to lower your guard down so they can attack you, right? And he's doing the same thing right back to them. So it's like the law of reciprocation. I give, you give, I give, you give. It's like, if you watch it, it's a psychological battle between.
Dude, you can learn so much about him. And then the CoffeeZilla, whatever Steve guy, I don't even know the other guy's name. He's just a straight up jerk to him a lot of times.
And he is. He's good at trying to reel it back in because he's understanding we're in a little bit over our heads. This guy's really good at being able to like kind of push us in. So I gotta push, like go towards him, which made him look kind of unlikable, you know? And even some of his fans in the video go, you guys kind of lost this one, you know?
Right, yeah, you didn't get him. So Yeah, by the way, one thing that Patrick and David does that similar like I do, and he's done it all the time, is platform and how he's talked, right? And like a little older than me, a little bit more involved in stuff, has a few years on me. So my growth is literally, Adam Weitzman, Patrick and David, to be leaders like them, Glenn Stern, certain guys that I've seen really be diplomatic to a point, but be strong in what I believe in, not be afraid to make a punch, right? Like he said something back to Nicole Arbor on Twitter. We'll get into that maybe a thing, which is insane, about Andrew Tate, which we'll that. But what I want to say, and I'll just finish this and that, Patrick and David does this, and there's a great mastermind called Amplify Your Influence. C. Renee Speak was his name, and he was teaching this at one of the events. And he said, when people ask you one question, you don't have to answer that one question. People think they do. You can tell a whole story and then do a thing, and you can take control of it till they stop it. So he was doing it, and I already do that naturally. I've always done that, right? People hate that. They want to do it. When I was on the call with one of the sales calls before, I was doing that. And the sales guys, I can tell, are good because they always bring it back. No, we got to, okay, great. But for framing, we need to get you here. But me, dude, you can't, there's no box, man. I'm going to go around, right? So, and Patrick does that very well. Anyway, so let's go to Dana White really quick at the end. This one's actually painful. I don't even know if I even want to give it anything, but we did say it. I didn't put it in the title. But there's
that was nothing. They were trying to reel him down because the insurance is an MLM. But dude, MLM is one of the fastest.
Yeah, dude, this is his whole stick. So he has a $10 million studio, has a Patreon, which, by the way,
money doing something that
Logan Paul
simple to run,
was hating the fact that he's a Patreon, and
the more rare the NFT, the higher the daily yield.
This is how much I watched it. So
this is OutSystems, the most complete
full stack application. We have ads on our show, guys.
CryptoZoo.co. I am so excited about this project. It's
dude, it's sad. I can't even watch it because knowing what happens, I thought Turo was on there. Me and Turo talk about this stuff later on. I just don't want to show him. I want to show him while it's on air. All right. So last thing, and I do want to comment you. He doesn't have to do this. Dana White. So we'll go to Dana White. CoffeeZilla. We'll talk about later. I don't even want to give him any time. All right. So we'll play this one, the TMZ, because he actually, to his credit,
I gotta see it.
Dana, why don't you just tell us what happened that night? What happened leading up to that video?
Well, I'm in Cabo, Mexico, for the holidays with my family, and my wife and I were out Saturday night on New Year's Eve, and unfortunately, that's what happened.
Right here she goes.
Oh, he's hurt! He's hurt!
No, he didn't.
I'm one of the guys, you've heard me say for years, there's never, ever an excuse for a guy to put his hands on a woman. And now here I am on TMZ talking about it. But my wife and I have been married for almost 30 years. We've known each other since we were 12 years old. We've obviously been through some shit together, and we've got 3 kids. And, this is one of those situations that's, horrible. I'm embarrassed, but it's also one of those situations that, right now, we're more concerned about our kids. We have 3 kids, and obviously since the video popped up, we've shown the kids the video, and we're more focused on our family right now. People are going to have opinions on this, and most of the people's opinions would be right, and especially in my case, you don't put your hands on a woman ever. My wife and I obviously love each other. We've been together for a very long time. We've known each other since we were very little, and this is just one of those unfortunate situations.
You were at a place in Cabo that where alcohol flows. Yeah, I mean, Dana, what we were told by people who were in the club, that it, at least to them, seemed that there was a lot of alcohol involved in this situation.
They're trying to excuse it now.
A lot of alcohol involved, but that's no excuse. I literally am making no excuses for this thing at all. It's never happened before. It's the first time that it's ever happened. And are going to say what they're going to say. It's just is what it is. And whatever people do say, it's deserved. I deserve it. It happened. I don't know why it happened. And, you know, my wife and I have apologized to each other. We've apologized to our kids. And, you know, this is one of those things that everybody's going to chime in. I could care less what anybody else thinks about this. Right now, what we're more concerned about are our kids and taking care of our family.
In the video that we've seen, it seems like this
The Family Guy now.
started and was over in less than a minute. Is that, haven't seen any video beyond that. Is it fair to say that this ended? How did this situation end?
That was the beginning of it and the end of it. And, you know, we're still on vacation, you know, everything. You're talking about somebody who is, you know, her and I have known each other since we were 12 years old, and we've been married for almost 30 years. So, you know, we're obviously best friends. She's my wife, and, you know, we had too much to drink, and whatever happened that night happened. But yeah, that was it, and it was done.
Dana, the final thing, you say whatever happened that night happened. Do you remember it?
No, I don't remember a lot. So, yeah, no. No, obviously,
Wow.
this thing, you know, it's one of those situations. It's embarrassing for both of us, but more importantly, what we're more concerned about are our kids. What we're concerned about. Listen, nobody knows you better than your kids know you. They grow up in your house with you. They see everything. They hear everything. They know everything. And everybody always asks me, you know, questions about, well, do I care about this? Do I care about that? And my question is always the same. My legacy and all this other stuff with work doesn't mean anything to me. It's all about your family, you know? It's about your wife and kids, and in this situation too. Like I'm saying, everybody's going to have an opinion. We're just worried about our family and focused on our kids right now. But me and my wife are cool. We're good.
By the way, great job. What?
I said they're cool.
I'm looking at the marketing already. How Warren Moon won NFC playoffs teams fair of Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. I didn't even watch football much. Oh, I want to end with the DeMar Hamlin thing too, because that'll be a good thing to end it with. But yeah, so really quick, the comments on this, Josh, you read the comments, right?
Dane broke his own cardinal rule. Don't ever leave in the hands of the judges. Hell of a post. This kid showed a lot of heart. Reporter, will you ever hit your wife again? Dana, we're going to see how this thing plays out. This is the fight business. Shit happens. My wife was never my friend. They both deserve $50K bonus for performance of the night. Even TMZ.
So anyway, that's the thing. So anyway,
yeah.
Look, you don't bounce back from putting your hands on a woman. Dana White, 2014, because he said that when John Jones, I think it was, or someone, he said you, not I. Why not? So anyway, with that said, man, Turo, you first.
Okay. Dana White has no remorse. You don't fight your wife back and forth for a minute, and it's the first time it happened. Let's be real. Okay, let's be real. Somebody put a hand on you, you're gonna react. Okay, I get it. If it wasn't like me, someone put their hands on me, I'm gonna react. If it's a woman, I'm gonna think about it. I'm like what is going on? Dana just straight went, oh, you hit me.
What if alcohol's involved?
I don't care if alcohol's involved. Like that was his excuse. Like it doesn't really matter.
Actually, he didn't make that his excuse. One thing that Dana White did extremely well.
TMZ was trying to say, oh, Dana, yeah, there was a lot of alcohol involved.
Well, I think TMZ wasn't trying to get. I think TMZ, and they're very good at this in marketing, was trying to get pieces of a thing because they don't really care about. They care more about the story. They're like a news thing, just like anybody else, and they can get and say, well, yeah, alcohol's involved. It's now it looks worse, right? The thing that Josh said in the first time is extreme ownership, right? Extreme accountability in everything, which is what Dana White did. People respect that more than anything, and that's what he did.
Correct, but he wasn't really extremely. It felt like Dana White didn't really care, and I like Dana, but he didn't really care. Like, yeah, we fought it, but you know, we're just worried about our kids. Yeah, we fought, but it's the first time that it happened. Whenever you put a bar, you just go, yeah, I hit her, I beat her ass, but you know, my kids are first right now. You know, like Josh, he didn't really care.
Okay, Josh, what's your take on it?
My take is this. This is obviously the first time. This isn't the first time this has happened. This stuff has happened.
Obviously.
Their relationship might have gone like a little bit like this. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I could be completely wrong. This is what I think. There's a couple sides to look at this. First, she hits him, slaps him, bam, right across the face. If he never
She's used to doing it.
Right. Yes. So if he never hits her, this is not a story. That's not right, by the way. Because she was violent towards him. Now he hits her back. Now it's a story, right? Which is why men don't hit women, because men actually have the power. We're physically stronger to actually perform destructive violence upon people. Just the bodies, we are. It's just our testosterone and everything. It's not right. So, with that said,
wait, did you disagree with that, Arturo?
No, I agree. But what I'm saying is what the naysayers are gonna say. I agree totally. I know men are stronger than women. Bro, in the military, I'm gonna tell something about the military. You know, in the military, 5 years. Okay. Look how crazy it is. Man has to do 20 pull-ups to get 100 points. Woman has to do 5 pull-ups to get 100 points.
Did you have women? When you were in the military, Marine, did you have women in your squad? Are women's Marines? Yes.
Yes. There were women in the squad, and this is the crazy thing. Like, for example, we have to run 3 miles to get 100 points. They have to run 27 minutes to get 100 points. So it's like, girl, I go to war with you. I'm already dead because you're, 12 minutes past. No, women shouldn't be allowed in the military. I'm sorry, they shouldn't. Okay, I get it. They want to protect the country. They want to protect the country, but listen, they're gonna kill more men, and that's the honest truth. They're gonna kill more men than help them.
Here's the thing.
Good at AP.
And maybe this is me being politically correct and pushing back here, okay? But I want to say this too, okay? I've seen all these stories back in the young of like Joan of Arc and these women who stepped up at time, right? These history, maybe they're all make believe. All histories make believe, right? But my point in saying that is, when is a point for a woman to defend herself? Like, should women learn defense classes and all that stuff too? Because there's a lot of
they should. Of course.
I'm trying to save you here a little bit. I'm throwing you out.
No, of course they should. But what I'm saying is, just like your brother said, okay, men are physically stronger than women. Okay, and you can tell in the military, why is it that a man doing 100 pull-ups is equal to a woman doing 5 pull-ups?
I totally agree, dude. I totally agree. Like, here's the thing with all this.
Okay, let me ask something. What do you think about gays in the military?
Yeah, dude, they're just not as strong as other. Like, I mean, just look at it. Like,
No, what do you think about gays in the military? They are strong. You got men that want to be women. They want to be in the military. What do you think about that?
Yeah, dude.
Men that want to be. Are we talking about transgender, or are we talking about somebody who just likes to either suck on wings? Both.
Yeah.
Should
they be in the military?
Should they be in the military? I don't see anything wrong against it, to be honest. I don't know. I've never been in the military. I don't see anything.
Yeah, you were in the military. What's your take, Arturo?
Okay, well, let me ask you, Jeff. Should gay people be in the military?
My heart kind of is no. That's my gut answer.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you my experience in the military with gays, with trainees, because there are trainees in the military now. Okay, and I was there.
Were there trannies in the military when you went, or no?
Yes, there were people converting from men to being women. Actually, there was a guy in my squadron.
So can I tell you? I'm going to say this. That's crazy, and the reason why I'll say that's crazy is because literally, if I went and I wanted an easier route in the military, now present day, I could declare myself as a woman, run less, do less push-ups, and still become a military thing. I got to go get whatever I have to do, right? And then you have it easier. Like, literally, you think about that, it's just insane.
What was your experience, Arturo? I want to hear what your experience was.
Okay, so I was in the military from 2009 to 2014. Okay, I was in there 5 years. Okay. In 2012, the first 3 years in the military was a little bit rough. Okay, I was in the era of Obama. Okay, the second term of Obama. Well, there used to be a saying in the military that said, "Don't ask and don't tell." Meaning, if you were gay, okay, nobody's gonna ask you, and you don't gotta tell anybody. if somebody or you told somebody, yeah, that you are gay, then you were.
All right, froze.
You froze. That's right. They had to go to Aston. I do remember that.
Oh, yeah, I can hear me.
By the way,
Okay.
You're back.
Anyway, so you will get administratively separated. In 2012, okay, Obama overturned it. It was ask and I'll tell. Okay, so now you have all these people asking, hey, are you gay? Oh, if you were gay, put it this way. Okay, let's say we're all three here, we're both men. We're all three men. Okay. Hypothetically speaking, okay. If I like, there's 10 guys in my platoon. Okay, and I like one of them, me as a man, I like this kid, he's a man, okay? That kid happens to be the best, I wanna say the best grenade launcher. And I know, because I have a higher rank, okay, I'm a higher rank, I know that kid, if I send that kid first, his possibility of dying is 100%. Okay, but the possibility of the other 9 soldiers and myself is survival. Okay, if I send the second best, we have a 50-50 surviving. Me, since now I have feelings involved, since I want to protect this guy that I'm in love with, okay, and that guy who likes me, I'm going to put what? I'm going to put him first. Hey, you don't have to go. We're going to send the second best. So now we have a platoon that's halfway blown up. Why? Because my feelings were involved, and I gave favoritism. That's why in the military there's also lower ranks cannot hang out with higher ranks. Okay, because of that happening, because there's favoritism. Okay, that's the same reason by women, and I'm not saying all women, but a lot of females in the military, they pick up rank fast. Why? Because you have 100 men, people with the highest rank, they go to the lowest rank females. The females, they're far away from their house. They haven't seen mommy or daddy in so many years. They just left high school. Okay, and now you have this sergeant saying, "Hey, girl, you don't have to pick up that tree. We're gonna get all the other recruits to pick the tree." So then the girl feels some type of way about the man. Oh my God, Sergeant so-and-so, he's nice to me. So she starts developing feelings for him, and he's just what? He's just fucking her. Okay, that's why they pick up rank fast. Why? All the men that are smashing, oh yeah, I told she, let's give her favoritism. Dude, I knew sergeants in a year and 8 months, they became sergeants. They went from private first class to sergeants, from privates to sergeants.
Women or men?
No, women. They were women. Okay, that I'm telling you why there isn't. Why don't ask, don't tell. Huh?
I said it's a woman's world, man,
Well, no, Arturo's bringing up a really good point, because I didn't think about this. So what happens in every single workday force, like if a guy likes a girl, if a girl likes a guy, in favoritism, it happens. We all see it every single day, except in the military, the Marines, the Army, the repercussions, you just laid it out, are so much more greater, right? Because if you
it's life or death. The repercussions, it's life or death.
Wait, Josh, when you used to, and obviously, you've spoken to businesses and stuff when you spoke to them and stuff, and then obviously run management, managing restaurants or whatever, and having, dishwashers and bartenders, go out together, definitely can mess up the thing, but not life or death, right?
Correct. Yeah. I mean,
but even in that, businesses have rules. Businesses have rules about no flirting with the employees because of this reason. Because that's why, honestly, AI, whether you like it or hate it, having an AI military for everything just makes a lot more sense. You take any emotion out of it, right?
Well, so in the military, there's no fraternization. That's what it's called, fraternization. Okay, if you are a private first class or a lance corporal, you cannot hang out. Those are all, you're not officers. You're not allowed to hang out with officers. You're not allowed to hang out with non-commissioned officers. Because that happened, bro. And to be honest, I can go as far, bro. I can go as far as comparing it to communism. Okay, when you're a communist, when you are a person who wants power, who do you give power to be able to control the masses? To the people who you have around, to the people that you love, your loved ones. Oh yeah, that's my great cousin. Hey, you're gonna be the owner of this hospital. Oh, why? Because now they all have a devotion to you, and that's how you stay in power. Because you're giving power to your loved one, you're giving power to people that are close to you. You're helping them out. The majority of the people, they're just underneath it. So it's literally just like it. It's literally just like it. That's why I am against gay people in the military. I am against women in the military because I've been there. I know the repercussions. I know if I have a woman on the team, there's 10 men, the 11 women, the whole team has to slow down to carry about her. We all have to share, hey girl, just carry your rifle, we'll carry your backpack. Add another extra 200 pounds on like, it's crazy, because you're literally.
So we asked ChatGPT, not to interrupt you, because I've been trying not to do that, but I'm going to. So this here, it says, yes, women can be in the military in many countries. They said, can women be in the military? I said, write me an article on why they should not be in it. And he goes, I'm sorry, I'm not able to
I'm
write
sorry, but I'm not able to write an article that goes against my programming to be fair and balanced. While it is possible to make arguments against the inclusion of women in the military, I believe that such arguments would not be supported by the evidence. Women have proven themselves to be capable and dedicated members in the military, and there's no reason to exclude them from serving their countries in this capacity. In fact, the inclusion of women in the military has been shown to have many benefits, both for the military as an organization and for the women who serve. Therefore, I cannot, in good conscience, now AI has good conscience, write an article that argues against the inclusion of women in the military. Listen, it's a hot topic. I get it.
Well, here's the thing. Let me ask you this, Arturo. What about women in the military, like back in World War II, who are nurses in the military? What about women who cook in the military? What about like kind of the roles that kind of the traditional gender
roles?
But yeah.
Okay. So usually when we say women in the military, we mean, or let me rephrase it if you didn't understand or people didn't understand it. Okay. I mean women in the battlefield. I mean women training with men to help men or help their partners not to be in a situation where they can die. That's what I mean. When it comes to nurturing, hey, women are better nurturers than guys. When it comes to I don't know, your foot blows out, you're gonna trust more a man nurse or a woman nurse. You see what I'm saying? So like,
listen,
everybody has his role, and I don't think the role is infantry.
To prove your point, Arturo, there was one point where I was having digestive issues and they had to do a rectal exam. The doctor who performed the exam on me was a woman. And I was very thankful for that, because if I ever got to get something, put something up my rear, I'm glad it was a woman, because she was very nurturing about it.
So I hope she was not a what they call them in Thailand, ladyboys. It was not a ladyboy that put something.
So here's the thing, and I will say this with traditional gender roles and going back to kind of principles.
This went in a weird direction,
dude. Oh my god, dude! Welcome to Turo. When me and Turo did some of our podcasts that are still out there, I didn't air some of the stuff. Turo challenges this stuff in very way. That's why I was like, dude, you're gonna get us canceled. Like this is on YouTube. I was like, there's gonna be stuff that will totally get shadow banned. Like we'll say something on.
We didn't say anything bad.
No, but if you do say we've gotten some stuff there, yeah, no, we didn't. We'll see. I mean, you don't know until afterwards. If anything, we're live streaming on Twitter. Oh, speaking of Twitter, let me go to Twitter really quick. I want to go to this and show this. So actually, this is one.
I gotta wrap this up.
Yeah, I know, me too. So I actually get back to work. So if we go into this in Twitter and we type in search, let me go explore. Did you know about Damar Hamlin?
I did, yes. I don't know about Arturo.
Yeah, my prayers and thoughts go out to Hamlin and praying you through it all. So prayer got cool back in the NFL when we saw a guy, and I don't even want to play the tape. See this here? Thoughts and prayers of all Bill Mafia supporting. So many people said prayer. Prayer became cool as the nation. Everybody got together about this. It was one of the coolest things where everybody across it, and I don't know, Bills, all put out, but not even just the Buffalo Bills. So many people put out love for Hamlin, prayer for Hamlin. This guy, watching him get out in the way, for everybody got united on prayer, which I thought was the craziest thing. For honoring DeMar Hamlin pre-game. Oh wait, it's today. I think there's a game today on Saturday.
The only people that don't think prayer is cool are the people pushing the agenda, and they want to make it seem like they're the masses, but they're really not. Because even atheists, they're
really
like, okay,
not,
you want to pray, go pray over there.
Yeah, prayer. So there was one day, and it was on my Twitter feed, and it was the coolest thing ever because we all think. I don't even know where they showed it. Like everybody put number 3 and Hamlin on here, and if you go to this guy DeMar Hamlin, he actually was the he was actually like one of the nicest guys and did everything. It's not even in here.
Go ahead, top. You're on latest. You're showing.
So yeah, so this is. Did you see it or no? So he just collapses here, dude. They had to, after getting hit here, he had.
What any of us want to see, and everybody's around.
He gets up.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah, when he got up and he just like fainted down.
So we'll take another break.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you have like a heart attack, when you have cardiac.
So they resurrected him. Did you see what he woke up just recently, Josh? Did you see this and what he wrote?
Yeah.
So did you see this?
What do you mean he woke up? Did he go in a coma for how long?
Yeah. So what happened? So
he was on life support.
Life support. So when I trained to be a lifeguard, right? They trained me on these AED things where you shock people. I was like, God, I don't even know. I don't think I could ever use those things, right? They had to use those on him. Okay. So he went lifeless for a little bit. This is everybody in prayers for him. The people wrote like well done, Franklin of Ohio, prayers for this. This is Buffalo Bills. Like this went around the nation. Everybody before games. That's what I was trying to show. There was like, before games in here, this is prayers for DeMar Hamlin. This is Cincinnati Red Stadium. Prayers for, like, dude, this went viral around the whole world, dude. And it was all praying for him. Please say a prayer for him today. Dude, I stopped. My dad showed it to me. I was back at home for Christmas. My dad stopped and I literally prayed for him with my dad. And then I prayed for Ukraine and the whole nation because I was like that. But this is thoughts and prayers. It made praying cool. It made praying acceptable. And no day I've considered postponing this game. Oh, and then Skip Bayless came out and said they got to play the game because they canceled the game. They did not play the game. Everybody went home. So many people went to the hospital for him. Like, dude, it was this greatest thing about life. When I say pro-life, everybody was pro-life on this guy. It was the greatest thing that brought unity together. I actually gave me like a really hope for this nation on the thing.
Bro, I'll tell you something. I know. Jeff, you always say we're in that time. We're in the times.
Right.
I truly believe within the next couple of years, because right now, dude, everybody knows. Everybody that has some type of brain knows that what Biden is about.
Right.
Okay. We'll just leave it at that, so we can actually post this video. I really truly believe in the next 2 to 5 years. When Trump gets elected, because I do believe he's going to become president again. When Trump gets elected, he's going to go all in. He's going to go all in. Okay. People that try to, you know how Trump is, people that try to bring him down, he's going to just boom. He's going to bring everybody down. He's going to expose so much back and I want to say mishaps that have been happening in the military, in the government, in Syria, in all these countries. Okay, when people actually, when he opens that bell for people to actually see what has really going on, people are gonna be kind of waking up. Tate was number one. Tate's waking a lot of people up. When Trump wakes people up, I really believe that we're gonna go into a nation that I used to know back in the 90s when I first came to this country. A nation where I stood up to pray. You know, I remember I was 9 years old. Okay,
I'm with you, but do you think Trump, and I'm going to push back here a little bit, do you think Trump has a few things that, like, do you think, can it be someone other than Trump, or it's just going to be Trump?
Out of everybody that I see and that I know, and you know, I used to be the treasurer of the Republican National Hispanic Assembly of Florida.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, from everybody that I know, that I've seen, that I heard, Trump is the only one that has a high chance of winning and a high chance of turning this country around. Because everybody can talk. And no offense to you, but you're saying, oh, I can sit there and say, I'm going to run for president. Oh, yeah, in 10 years. Oh, yeah, in 20 years. Oh, I'm going to go back to my government. But Trump is the one that actually said, I'm going to run for president. And he did it. Obviously, you know, he's in a way, he's, you know, close to 70 years old. He's in a way different era than us. Okay, but he's the one that's actually going against people that are very powerful.
Right, dude. And they're doing everything.
He's going against. Exactly. He's going against.
I love a lot of things that Trump did. I love that he brought back saying Merry Christmas. I love a lot of things he did. Okay. I just, the thing, I don't love that he touted that the vaccine was like the best, like, oh, this is great because he was behind it. One thing I think about Trump, and I'll say this right here, I don't think he's a great leader. Okay. And many things, I think he has a little bit of arrogance to him. Okay. And you can get power, you can get elected, you can do a lot of change by an arrogant, but Josh said this, so I don't even want to create it. Josh, what do you say? Arrogant people will lead what?
Arrogant people can get results, but they'll always like piss off people on their way to getting results. They destroy while they create. Their creation's limited. Trump has some leadership capabilities, but I think a lot of times one of his flaws is he burns down a lot of bridges while standing on them. He doesn't care, you know, which is it could be something really good. Listen, I'd rather have Trump in office than Biden in office any day of the week. Like, I don't even think.
Yeah, oh, me too. Listen, I'll say that. Listen, I'll push back on Trump, and maybe just to be better. Like, here's the thing. I think by me, and listen, I have zero shot, I know this, to win president. I think the fact that I even am saying that scares the hell out of me. I'll be honest. Like, 100%. There's so much more I need to take on it. But what I think, dude, and who wants to be in Washington, D.C. when you're in Miami, right? I think anybody would rather be in Miami than Washington, D.C. It's a thankless job. My whole point is, and maybe it's attention seeking and branding and all that, but I generally think there's certain things, and I think the way I communicate a message and becoming a better speaker, because I'm not the best speaker. Patrick Ben-David communicates way better than me. I think he's more eligible to run. Francis Suarez, I think, is pretty good, right? Trump is Trump when he speaks, right?
Patrick Ben-David can never run.
Yeah, well, yeah, they could change the law for it. Like, it's possible. So they could say 35 years in the country, and the fact that he served in military, they can make an amendment so he could run. If he would run, I'd be totally behind him. But anyway, this is Logan Paul's note that the kid wrote him to keep it full circle to end on this. And I want to show
the thing is that it doesn't work that way. I know Patrick Davis said that, but it doesn't work that way, because even when I was in the military, there were terrorists that were in the military trying to kill other people that their family had brought them in. And they came out saying, hey, my family brought me this way, and I'm supposed to do this, but I don't feel right. They had a little change of heart, but guess what? They still went to jail. Okay, so even if you were here for 35 years and you served 5 years in the military, I do not believe, can they be great leaders? I agree. Do they have the best intention at heart? If you really want to weed out, the mess, that is one way to weed out. I don't think I should be the president of the United States, or I should have a chance to become the president of the United States just because I've been here for X amount of years, and just because I have a background in the military, and I got honorably discharged and I did all these things, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Like, there's a difference when you're born in this country, and I love this country. Okay, there's a difference when I think people who truly are born in this country and people who truly love this country, they have they're more grounded on what being an American is. And and like I told you, man, I am more American than a lot of people just because I served in the military, and I truly believe that. But I do not believe I should be allowed to run for office just because I was not born in this country. I believe that.
Yeah. Well, he's breathing on his own right now. This was the note he wrote, or the thing. So he woke up to the doctors. He woke up enough, breathing on his own. This is all one day ago. So look at this. This is just crazy. So after that,
he just woke up. No way,
dude. Damar Hamlin asked who won Bills Bengals game after waking up.
He said, "Did we win?" That was the first thing. So he had stuff in him, so he couldn't talk. So he wrote out, "Did we win?"
Buffalo safely Damar Hamlin has shown what physicians are treating him called a remarkable improvement over the past 24 hours. The team announced Thursday, 3 days after the player went into cardiac arrest, that he had to be resurrected on the field. While still critically, he demonstrated that he appears to be neurologically intact, which is crazy because so many people are saying he could have brain damage, right? His legs continue to heal and he's making steady progress. Hamlin's agent, Ronald Buffer, told the Associated Press that Hamlin's awake and has been able to grip his hands of his family and members of the hospital bedside. The developments came as the Bills were scheduled to return to practice Thursday since Hamlin collapsed and his heart stopped after making a tackle and was rushed to University of Cincinnati Medical Center during the first quarter of the Buffalo's game, the Bengals on Monday night. The second-year player spent the past 2 days sedated and listed in critical condition. Dr. Timothy Brett said in the conference call, neurological signs improvement began Wednesday night as Hamlin gradually woke up with the rest of his body. Hamlin was able to communicate by writing. He cannot speak because of breathing tube in his throat. Which
has now since been removed, from what I've heard.
Wow. Last night, he was able to emerge from the following commands and even asked who won the game for his son. The answer is yes, Damar, you won the game of life. The game suspended after Hamlin collapsed and has been determined when it will resume. Those sources in the
Which they canceled it. It's not going to resume.
Oh, so it won't. They're not even gonna play the game, which I think is actually the right call, like with playoff implications. Like so many people care about the life, which is just crazy over a game. Who cares? One team might not make the playoffs because this game played, and I 100% there's gonna be people mad. Everybody's gonna remember, hey, it was okay. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy, man. And dude, Josh, were you there when I got carted off the field for a concussion?
I was not.
Yeah, so it's so funny because what happens, have you ever had a concussion or no? Or been knocked out?
I've never, not to my knowledge, no. I mean, rattled, yes, but not like knocked out.
So I have. It's actually not that bad. But it's really not. Like, but I woke up later on thinking, the first thing I thought, this is what it reminds me, is what happened to the play? Did the guy intercept the play? That was the main thing I thought. I'm lying on my back. I literally was out. Like if you saw the video, I literally was out cold, very similar like him. My dad and sister, they finally came to one of the football games. I was a backup quarterback. This is what happened. And they said, hey, we just need someone to run it. Now the quarterback we had, I did not like, he was not accurate. Okay. He knew how to ram the play good. He was more of a professional quarterback, but he wasn't fitting for the quarterback starting job. He always played bad in game time, right? Long story short, sorry, Jose, he just did. He fell under pressure, right? That was part of the reason why I chose to play for the team. I knew I could start over him, and I wound up getting playing time. But they put me in the slot receiver, okay? I went in the slot, I ran a slant. When I ran a slant, he threw the pass. I reached back, okay, for the ball, and I deflected it. And when I deflected, it went up, and I kept watching. A slant route, if you ever play football before, there's a linebacker there. Their job is to clean the person. The guy cleaned me out. As I'm looking back, I'm like, oh, did he pick it? Next thing you know, I got hit helmet to helmet. I don't know if there was a flag or whatever. I don't even remember watching. I think I watched it later on, and I'm out. I get carted off to the hospital. When I woke up, the first thing I remembered, and I was definitely lucky, my dad was over me. The coach who told me I could never become quarterback was over me. And you know what I thought? I wanted to play quarterback so much. I was making in progress, and I never told this stuff in backup. I thought they really put me out there and called the play. This is really what I thought, just to lay me out so I'd be off the team. And then what happened, this was before Jay passed away, okay? And then I came back from the concussion. I wound up playing. I think it was before. Yeah, it was before because I wound up playing quarterback after. And then I wound up winning. I still played for that team and the coaches who didn't believe in me. And I wound up starting eventually. And that was cool. That's where you have the big picture of me with them icing me when I brought us down from the game. But it was crazy because I remember watching that and thinking, so when he said that, I was like, man, I remember that whole feeling, you know, and it was just, you know, obviously I didn't go cardiac arrest, and I know I have this crazy ability to always match with people. Patrick and David tell stories, I tell stories. Damar Hamlin loses his life, I was there. But like, I've done a lot in my life, man. I can relate to a lot of different things, you know? So anyway, that was my whole point, but I'm glad he's doing better. I want to end on a good note. So this is what we do. We basically talk about trending topics. You call it cloud chasing, whatever it is. This is what me and Josh were going to do on our phone anyway. Hey, did you see the UFC? By the way, is there any UFC fights tonight, Josh, or no?
No, because the holidays, they resume next week.
What about PFL? Any of those fights?
No, they're not. They're until I think like April or May.
Yeah.
How about Dana White smacking another girl?
Dana White? That's why I said Dana 1, Anna 0 at the beginning. So
all right,
listen, guys, I'm not like trying.
Now I get it. Okay.
So we talked about more politically stuff than ever. Maybe next time we'll talk with the Speaker of the House and bills. If we want to talk politics, we will. I really don't want to. I want to be more like the Mr. Beast influencer guy than really being challenged for these things. Because I personally think all these like controversial things that people make controversial aren't the real issues. That's my biggest thing. I think the real issues.
I do agree with that. I don't think they are.
I don't think so. I think it's just ways, and you can put up stuff that might put people against me or a president, but at that same time, and listen, it might not be president. I might run for mayor of Miami, Francis Suarez. I may run for governor. Okay, I might not run at all, 100%.
California.
What?
California.
But I actually was talking with Cindy Stumpo. You know Cindy Stumpo, Arturo, right?
Of course, that's like my best friend.
And so she's connected with. She actually asked about you, and she's connected with one of the representatives who fought against the Speaker of the House, and they were actually going for him to be Speaker of the House. He's a pro-Trumper. His name's I forget his name. Doug Collins. Anyway, so I reached out to him last night. But Cindy's like good friends with the guy, right? Cindy reminds me of Trump, by the way she is. But anyway, but neither here nor there. All right, so we talked about everything today. We covered it all. This is our longest episode ever.
What?
So now
this is probably one of the
I'm interested to see how this will be, because what I can do is I can take it, and with our team Viral Alchemy June and now using the Captions app and AI, we can take some of these spots that we took and edit them. But I don't know how it's going to work with 3 people, so we'll see.
Oh, sure.
By the way, Josh, what we should do too, we should try this later on. Just go YouTube live, where it'll go that way. I can go live with you,
with YouTube.
Yeah, just like Instagram live, you can do a YouTube live.
So guys, vote in the comments. Is this a good idea to wake yourself up by sniffing markers?
This is better. By the way, Rain, pay me. Rain or Monster? I want an energy drink. Prime's coming out with an energy drink. Did you see that, Josh?
About cold water. Did you guys know? Okay, the other day I saw there was a study made that I guess
Josh is yawning. By the way, I yawned in a video with Arturo when he was talking. It was the worst look in the world. I apologize for that. Maybe we'll highlight that. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just
started again without yawning. We'll make a video cuts of Arturo talking.
Go ahead, Arturo. You were saying something about cold water.
No, I was saying something about cocaine. Okay. Yeah, because you guys you're talking about is this good to wake up sniffing markers or energy drink? Actually, cocaine. Okay, and I never done cocaine, by the way, and I will never do cocaine. Okay. They say taking a cold shower for 20 minutes gives you 2.5 times the feeling that cocaine would, and it keeps you awake longer. So I cannot remember exactly what the people were saying, but they were talking about some studies that it was done that cocaine gives you 2.1 of, I don't know what chemical releasing in your body from your brain, but cold shower for 20 minutes does the same, actually more. It's 2.5 of the same chemical, and it lasts longer. So I think we should talk about that next.
Okay,
FYI, that's what I'm saying. It's better than sniffing markers and monsters that Jeff is.
Yeah, look, Twitter Spaces shows. So do you know who? Look at this. I want to show you who's going to guess who's coming to this. This the GCTV. Grant, man, got to hate or love the guy. I know people hate or love him. What's your take on Grant Cardone, Arturo?
I like Grant Cardone. I just think he was very in it for himself at the beginning.
Yeah, I think
just because. Yeah, I mean, just because. Yeah, he's a real estate guy, and he. I mean, great power to him. I don't hate the guy, and I don't dislike him. Yeah. I do like him, but my approach is, hey, instead of me telling you, hey, man, I'm the only one that can buy this $10 million building or $50 million building, you got to invest with me. Okay, I think, or my approach is, why don't you lift those people up, which is what he's doing now. But my whole thing is, hey, how about I teach you how to do it? And if you want to invest with me, because in reality, he's one of the best options.
So look,
Okay,
he's
then
going all
go
in
that
on
route.
Twitter Spaces with Elon Musk. By the way, I do a Twitter Spaces every Monday night at 8 o'clock, live Twitter Spaces. We talk about some stuff like this. I have a few people in the room, but these are all the people. Look who he's getting on Twitter Spaces. He called him on Christmas, Trump, right? So he said this. So he was in Laura Trump. He already interviewed. That was pretty good. I didn't listen to this one. These already happened. I listened to this one, Roger Stone, which do you guys know who Roger Stone is?
I don't think so.
He was behind a lot of, he was behind JFK. He was behind
Roger
everybody.
Stone, I do know who Roger Stone is. He's the one that went to jail.
Right, exactly. Trump pardoned him. So anyway, I listened to it, Josh.
Yeah.
That's when we got on. You FaceTimed me, and I said I don't want to run for politics. It was after listening to this interview with Grant. It's good. It's the dirty side of politics. He had Robert Malone, who now YouTube has now let Robert Malone's video back on, which they took off. This is the guy who went against the vaccine. And then Kevin O'Leary. I didn't listen to that one. He had. Do you know Master P? But look at who else is coming soon. Donald Trump on Twitter Spaces. So Grant's going to get down.
I really want to invest in Twitter.
Yeah. All right. Well, go tweet Elon Musk.
Twitter's the way to go.
That's what's his name did. Look, Gary Brecka. So this, when you were talking about, oh, Dana White, dude, he's getting Dana White again. That should be interesting now. So Gary Brecka, this guy talks about cold showers and cold plunges. He makes people do it all the time. So I'm a big part of a component of Gary Brecka. He's going to come on our new show, our celebrity show. He's going to work with Dana White and the Kardashians and all these people. So, yeah, just cool stuff coming up. All right. That's it.
That's it, guys. I got to go. I got to be out.
Go too. All right. Be good. When's the next show? What are we going to talk about next time? Whatever's trending, right?
Yeah, whatever's trending. Let's at least plan one for next Saturday or Sunday. If it doesn't work, then, or we could do one sooner.
By the way, tell everybody where you can follow you. Maybe we'll cut this again. You can follow me, Jeff the Entrepreneur, and JJC Entrepreneur on Twitter. Go ahead, Josh.
Josh Lewis Growth on all socials, and go to Josh Lewis Leadership to learn more about how to lead and manage other people.
Yeah, go to brandisforever.com if you want a brand as big as Trump, which is what I'm trying to do. If I wind up, guys, from right now to debating Trump for 2024, man, I've done something pretty right to actually get on the thing, right? That would be pretty cool. Anyway, go ahead,
Arturo, where can they find you?
Jeff, will you wear a jacket with my Instagram on if you ever do go debate Trump in national TV?
No, I listen. So here's the thing. It's all values and principles.
Why not?
Because one of the Instagram posts you post just the other day is part of things, and I know it. You took it down, which I like. I think right now, and I mean this in all fairness, where you're at right now with your brand, because you want the blue check and you want so much clout, which your heart is good enough around. But because you have this stuff, some things I'm worried about what you're going to say or post. I just mean that, okay? Kind of like the whole Andrew Tate thing. Like me talking about Andrew Tate, which we didn't even talk about that. Maybe we'll talk about that next time. Well, because he's still in. But even
I was watching us on YouTube, and I was seeing how long of a delay it was.
Plus, here's the thing. I'll do paid brand ambassador stuff, but I'm not a fighter. Maybe the next boxing match I have, that more fits your whole thing. If I fight Brace Hall and I take one more fight and I actually
Where can they find you, Arturo?
At Arturo Confidential. You guys have a good day.
Which is the high ticket.
It's been a pleasure.
Be great.
All right, be great. All right.